Chaos then was being ran by Crimtai, and of course, oh sorry, flipping that around, NaturalNut actually on the Happy Chaos, and Crimtai here on the Eno.
Yeah, Crimpy and Eno extraordinaire. This matchup though, notorious 3-7 for Eno. We'll see how Crimpy navigates this one. NaturalNut with a good start, getting his tick throw established already, but that 2K getting jumped over. No focus or bullets, the resources low, but you do got that 50 tension. Still got this Eno in the corner and sending her through.
Yeah, you're feeling pretty good here as Positive rolling in. You'd have to spend it on any of the supers. If you get close to 50 by the time it ends up ending, there it is. Play with a knockdown situation, but that 5P was ready to stop those Enos from doing a little bit of that fake reset pressure, but Crimtai definitely able, as long as you get that hit, make it Happy Chaos guess, will definitely be a bad time for that character, but top in class normals definitely takes him pretty far, and a great side switch here, going to push Zeno to that corner, calling out the stroke with that 2K, no wall stick initially, then putting through the wall with that Deus Ex, but we are in a version now, no more filling the bullets here, so only one bullet to work through going through that hard knockdown.
Crimpy though with this 50 tension, to see to get that wake up, you got that clone in your face. I like how we use the red RC to fight through it, the note to let you approach, but that sultry getting thrown, great punish. I like the idea on that deflect shield, but NaturalNut was ready with that shimmy, able to take you out in this game one.
Yeah, we didn't see anything too long-lasting of a block string there from NaturalNut, so definitely kind of just putting out a bit of that zoning pressure and then taking advantage of those really strong Happy Chaos normals and when you do have to RPS with them, so definitely curious to see how Crimpy is going to be able to adjusting their approach. But hey, you're kind of, I said it in the beginning here as we started, like, you know, this matchup has always been a rough place for Eno because of her kind of like weird and segmented like hover dash, a little bit hard to get around some of the zoning patterns for Happy Chaos, and you know, you're kind of even seeing it here right now. Like now that Curse is a hitbox on the way in, I imagine that old dash blocking isn't as effective as it once was in previous versions.
Yeah, it's actually a great point. I was thinking that as soon as it happens. I'm glad you said it again. I was like, oh man, that's right. Yo, Eno's got it hard. And right now, NaturalNut not making it easy for you. Trying to super through the clone. Crimpy hits the decoy, but NaturalNut keeps this pressure up. PRC to try to go for a throw here in the corner, but Crimpy actually gets you cornered.
Yeah, this is a great spot to be in right now for Crimpy. Do not let this Happy Chaos out and ooh, get yourself thrown for your troubles. It's definitely also about bad as it goes, but actually hits a 2S counter hit, but it doesn't combo into the super. I'm not actually sure if they were looking for Wake Up Super regardless and got 2S then after. Definitely a bit of a reversal woe if you're not dialed in with those timings, but so far here, Crimpy looking pretty strong here in the second round. Going to be putting Natural probably through this wall, spending the super as well, so we can get that hard knockdown. Going to build up some of that burst meter then, but not going to have access to 50 for any mix-ups after.
I like how Natural was trying to fight back with that 2P there on the MLA. Crimpy trying to approach, but it's going to be that run-up shot that take you out. The PRC to slow things down. Good trade with that Sultry, and I like how these projectiles have been playing this matchup for us right now. Natural going to be able to get this 2K counter hit, pushing you back. The 5D connects, but the deflect shield buys you some time, but not enough. Sent through here on this Deus Ex.
Great damage as well. One bullet's what we got in the chamber then, but maybe that's all we need. What's Smith's going to be? Hold up the gun, get a little bit of respect. Take out the clone, but YRC stopping as well. No bullets to work with. Has to spend it out on that burst. But of course, Happy Chaos in this version getting access to all 6 bullets from the reload there. Great recognition, paying out that burst as well. Crimpy definitely made it a little bit closer here in that game too, but NaturalNut just able to kind of hold down the space and yeah, really making this, you know, have to work for it. And you see it as well, like even if you eventually get that knockdown on Happy Chaos, having to deal with YRC, having to get bursted back to the full screen, having to replay out that game plan again, definitely could be tough for Eno. So we'll see if Crimpy can adjust much as we go into this game 3.
See what we got. Crimpy when we get on ya has been strong. Natural been doing some good stuff there with the clone and with the curse ball as well to get that distance back. Oh, I like that approaching through, catching you on the roll and the low. Crimpy trying to get that hover dash forward. Natural was ready with the gunshot, the burst to try to end that pressure. Getting away here, but great anti-air from Natural.
Speed route, not much of a full pickup there. Actually not sure how much Happy Chaos can get up it now. I feel like we'd have to be able to see this character much lately, so still kind of curious to see how some of these portal routes can actually work, but so far the control has still been incredibly there for Natural, just keeping Crimpy in this kind of more or less stuck position. Has to kind of inch herself forward then or move forward with some of these special moves, but Great advantage there of using that stroke into the RC to hopefully get a punish, but that burst once again sending you back full in the throw as well. Natural just looking untoppable right now here as we get to a potential set point with that round win.
Great play here. Crimpy, oh, trying to fight through the clone. I like what we had there, but Natural also getting the read on that deflect shield. Going to be able to shoot you through here. Looking good, trying to close this out here on set point. Being able to run right under that HCL. Great movement here, but a counter hit from Crimpy gets the offense started.
Oh, a backwards hitting JD as well. That was pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen, backwards hitting JD like that. That's pretty sick. This stuff Crimpy, but a great 5P anti-air there, stopping that reset attempt by Crimpy. And once again, so often Enos have to kind of like hedge this bet that you're not going to be ready with some of these fuzzy options. Shoots out the stroke on the way in. Tries to anti-air with the 5K, but a couple P buttons to close it out. TheNaturalNut, TheNaturalNut even.
Anji up against MacMens, also on the Anji, showing up in this TNS top 8 this week. We'll see what we got right now. MacMens already got you in the corner here.
Not where you want to be, but these two characters, like I would say, as someone who's put a little time into Anji, then the mirror is on the more chill as far as mirrors are concerned. Just two gentlemen spinning at each other, trying to see who has the best dance moves, who can break it down the best. So far, MacMens is showing ReelBreadMix what they're looking to there, but gonna get MacMens push the corner here, blocking out that fan, keeps Anji fairly plus in your face, but blocking the overhead. MacMens looking ready, and yeah, at this point, I don't even know if you spend the burst here unless you truly believe. Oh, we do believe, though. Let's go, Brad, what you got?
Ooh. Well, with that 100 meter, was able to PRC back from that fish, but MacMens with that 2P, man. I don't know if that button is that good or if MacMens is just that good at using it, but you already saw a little bit of fuzzy mash being applied, and right there it came out on top to finish off that round. ReelBread here in the corner, going to do that double jump in the air stall to try to fight back against Mac to try to get out of this corner. MacMen's doing a lot of Fujin no cancel to try to see what your opponent wants to do. Gets a punish there, blocking the overhead.
Route going to be go for that simple 2H link. Anji 2H. Essentially, Arctis's balanced philosophy with a lot of these recent patches in the past couple of years now has been buffing the lesser used moves. And Anji 2H now has gone, I think, through two major patches of essentially getting buffs of being more plus, and now having this it moves him forward now, so he gets new routes off it in there. So there's something MacMens showing us the new route, but Bread's stuck in this corner right now. Gonna have to guess right, but taking advantage of that Anji reversal in 2P, it practically feels like. Another 2P fighting back then. It's a battle of the fans.
Nice stuff here. Gonna be able to spin through PRC to keep yourself safe. Gonna catch you with that Nagiha. RCing through. Whoa, that was tricky. MacMen's able to block that cross up, but not the 5D, as ReelBread's going to take you to the corner here for one more reset potentially. MacMen's blocking it out, feeling safe, but the pin connects, and ReelBread gets around here on the board.
Press the 5K there, maybe looking to stop a delayed follow-up there, or even the jump K cancel that Anji has, but MacMen's playing fairly solid. Oh, good 2S when at the startup of the spin being held. Tried to actually 6P through. It's a good IED over, big starter here for MacMens. Definitely get the momentum swing back in their favor, and so often in the mirror, it's like you're trying to show each other how can you answer your own character's pressure with your own tools, and definitely imagine as the situation goes here. Good cancel early as well. Man, shouts to this buff for Anji players probably love this buff. Like for the longest time, Anji had such awkward corner combos and trying to get the wall stick of when you're looking for being able to cancel that Fujin into super. So nice, but a great fast RC with the 5 dust here. ReelBread definitely hitting some real mix here, but MacMen's able to find the routing, ending out that first game in their favor here off the back of some really good 2Ps and some great use of that new routing.
Yeah, MacMen's caught on that 5D, spent the burst right away, said, no, I'm not giving you any sort of combo here. I'm just going to finish this first game. But ReelBread doing some strong stuff there at the very end. We definitely got a set on our hands. Two Anji connoisseurs coming out here. MacMen's doing a lot of checking there on ReelBread's Fujins, but you already saw by the end of that first game, ReelBread was willing to do no cancels, was willing to open it up a bit with Nagiha. Great round start there with the 5K, putting MacMen's here in the corner.
Oh, and there's the respect. Oh, and great 6P there. You love to see it. ReelBread kind of gave that same setup to MacMens earlier. MacMens showing that the IDGH was ready. This time was ready with the 6P to answer back. I love what we're seeing from Reel already. They are quite really adjusting to what they need to do against their opponent. MacMens finding that new route so often now. You're going to be seeing a lot of 2K pickups here from Anji with these new routings. A lot of the options are going into close slash or 5K have gone with this version, but still is the option to get some pickups there. A little too far away for the pickup after. Spaces out that super parry, but not able to quite connect. ReelBread putting out that burst. I wanted to lose this round. MacMens still up a lot in the meter department. Gets the hit they're looking for. Just an RC to keep it going. Could be a good chance for ReelBread to come back.
Or at least force MacMens to spend this burst would be a great win here, but in the gap, MacMens shows that parry was holding on to that meter earlier, saved it for that moment right there, finished off the round while saving the burst. Great patience, but ReelBread with a good round start here actually gets a punish on that 2S attempt. MacMens trying to get started here.
And that empowered fan toss is so good now. Plus 13 on block. I'm not quite sure what the on hit is, but definitely going to at least provide Anji a lot better follow-ups to that going on hit there. So, but these the battle of the 2S counter pokes, man. Shouts to Anji 2S. Definitely an incredibly strong poke tool. Players here showing it in that low profile attempts, but a battle of Fujins. The spins are going crazy. Oh, big starter then. This is what the Anji spend all their time in training mode, labbing out this route here. MacMens putting a good chunk of damage on the board. ReelBread hard knockdown after this wall break. He's at 50 though, and it's simply a mini 2P. We let all those 2Ps rock as well. No burst coming out from ReelBread.
Very patient here, but at this point, there are some normals that will just kill you before you get the chance to spend it. But hey, getting your pressure ran here after that. Now get red RC. Man, MacMens not falling for that setup. It is tricky getting to the other side with that cross-up close slash, but MacMens is ready for it. Finishes off game 2 here.
Shouts to ReelBread. I can't say I was aware of who they were as a player prior to this, but they're definitely showing some very strong stuff. You know, definitely getting MacMens whittled down, but just the consistency of MacMens. You know, we've seen this player multiple top 8s of online brackets, and definitely someone to be feared. So sometimes, you know, players occasionally will have that like, oh, I'm playing against like, you know, this insert player here on my character. I might be a little nervous, but ReelBread just kind of runs some strong sequence so far. Oh, I love that the 5K out, really to spin right after that counter poke. Oh, gets frame trapped with the 2H there. Big starter had to be bursted right away by MacMens.
But now this corner pressure, you have no burst meter to keep this Anji off you. At least we go to a soft knockdown situation, back to neutral, able to spin through and get you knocked down with this Koi, trying to check back on that projectile, gets counter hit for it. ReelBread with a great start, trying to get it back here. I love that recognition to just empty spin and then get that counter hit close slash, gets you a full combo after and wall break. ReelBread in a great spot.
Yeah, but look at that new Anji spin scaling. Essentially has a similar scale that you find in PRC. I imagine MacMens is going to be saving that burst here, at least for the next round. Definitely been quite a mountain to climb going back, but here, good 2P. Yeah, any delay in the follow-up then essentially will allow for those 5-frame normals to be able to mash through, but spacing out so far. Oh, just whiffs out on the follow-up. Anji, you know, definitely has like a decent far slash, you know, a little bit hard to counter poke sometimes and whip punish, but there is that great shimmy spacing into that counter hit 5H. The jump cancel here as well into that super counter. Yep, and because Anji does not have invincible startup of that super, he can still do a 100-meter dump there. Love to see it there. MacMens bringing it up to a round apiece now and themselves on set point.
See what we got here, man. ReelBread with a good 6P to push it back. Keeping plus after that pin. MacMens getting cornered here with that back dash, but gets a far slash punish after FDing back his opponent here. ReelBread still able to keep up that pressure. Gonna be that overhead red RC. MacMens gonna spend that burst. Does not want to get that positive bonus.
Great 6P being ready for that jump-in option, and I love that MacMens is taking a little bit of space every time they do approach, just to kind of see if ReelBread is willing to kind of match something now on the way in, and we called out the gap between the Ko and the Rin. Gets that hard knockdown here. ReelBread will get down that space. Ko a little harder to punish right now, especially with the empowered one, who jumps out of the empowered fans as well. Deputy stalling, but it's got to be careful here. Anji actually incredibly good, hitting up to the heavens there with a co. MacMens giving a good route so far. That choice not breaking the wall, just to keep ReelBread stuck in this corner. The overhead ripping out here. A 5H of our own. ReelBread saying, all right, no 3-0s for you here. Answering back one of their own, and we're getting to game 4.
Awesome stuff there from ReelBread. Definitely was playing on top of it in most of those rounds there. MacMens, of course, evening it up a bit, putting themselves on set point, but ReelBread closing it out at the very end. Definitely loving some of these counter hit confirms we're seeing. ReelBread with some great play. MacMens with some good FDs. You know, of course, plays the character, so knows where he wants to push back the other Anji and then try to get our own punishes with Far Slash and such. But ReelBread coming out on top in that last game. If you can get a game, you can get a set. So we'll see what we got.
Absolutely good call out there on the fan toss, but a little bit awkward there depending on the character. That's such a route that you have to have figured out. I'm curious how much of that will adjust in this version as we go. It's the IB, but has to kind of hold this extended pressure with the RC. Oh, but the 2H ripping and at the ready. Oh, it's actually a trade there, which ends up stopping the rest of the follow-up from that butterfly, but MacMens not taking the bait so far here. Another trade again. We saw this earlier, and MacMens kind of losing the health war right now. And a good delayed 5D. ReelBread here is looking very real on this game right now. Definitely love to see this pressure here, and just kind of like, whoever gets that first hit started, it's kind of a tale as old as time. It's like, how well do you think you can deal with your own character's BS? And so far here, MacMens been the best. Oh yeah, that route looks very specific. I'm kind of curious what it looks like in this version, but that touch to this corner here. Good ID back out and a good falling button again. ReelBread looking so strong right now in this game 4.
That was actually the same side close slash, dude. MacMens has not gotten hit by that setup at all, no matter what side. We're going to be able to get this pickup after Nagia, though. Spending a red RC to ensure we get the wall break. ReelBread going to be able to get, I think, most of the positive bonus here because that RC was a while back here, so maybe not too much negative penalty or, I'm trying to say tension penalty. MacMens doesn't get punished on that far. So look at that route. We're doing a great job of fighting back against the pin, which ReelBread is picking a lot of the time. Dancing around that co. Gonna catch you with this overhead RC. MacMens spending the burst to put our opponent in the corner.
Great spins in here so far. Spins on the way out. Just a little bit more is all we need to make it ours. And the delayed frame trap into the 5H. Gonna hit MacMens, potentially probably looking for a fuzzy 2P there. I mean, essentially the most common button Anji want to be pressing when they are on defense. And we were about to write it to MacMens there, getting close to a 3-0. It is now finds himself on game 5. If ReelBread does this, a reverse sweep on the Anji you usually see in those top 8s. Definitely feels pretty good and feels pretty good going with the rest of their bracket time tonight. Remember, y'all, anytime now you can sign up tonight, join the ladder. Get some games in of Strive 2.0 here at ParagOnline. Maybe get fight one of these two wonderful Anji players here as we get into our game 5. Ooh, a good throw tech to get ourselves started. Fan toss, not able to get a full combo after, but the pressure is still yours. And there's that empowered Nagiha now. So good at spacing. MacMens almost able to. It almost feels like MacMens is labbing out the punish right now.
Yeah, we're probably just missing one thing where we land there. We're going to have to take that one to the lab after. ReelBread trying to get that projectile out. MacMens getting a trade hit here. RC getting spent. ReelBread having a burst of our own here. Mac having that 50 tension, 100 now after getting this tick throw applied. Gonna try to run away with this round. In fact, making this comeback. I like that overhead, keeping the RC to keep your opponent in the corner, trying to go for that guts crush to try to finish off the round. ReelBread also having this burst, looking to see if we're going to spend it. Doesn't get the chances. MacMens goes directly into the fans.
Oh, and I think the 5Ps, I'm not sure if the super actually connected. I'd have to see a replay of it, but the 5Ps might have pushed him out of the actual super pickup there. Definitely the spooky here, and good again, the fuzzy jump working so well against that fan toss. Punishes with the JK. MacMens once again on set point here. If we can just take Reel, and right now we are ahead in the burst meter war. Definitely unlikely that ReelBread's going to see a burst here going through the rest of this game. We can bring through the wall, back to that neutral then, but 50 in the chamber. This is spooky.
That air stall was nuts there. ReelBread going to get this overhead connection, but Mac with 100 tension is going to walk you down the corner. ReelBread will get one more burst activation here. And we also got 50 tension to fight back with as well. Maybe defensively, just spacing out that far slash enough. Both characters hitting their demons out here. Going to get that Nagiha red RC. MacMens spending the burst, but it gets baited by ReelBread.
You get started right now, but you have to cut through 100-meter. Definitely terrifying. Great call-up, but will it be enough? Get the base here. Not even going to get the chance to spend the burst. Maybe thinking MacMens was going to go for another burst bait attempt to get a free drop. But MacMens keeps it consistent. Just says, hey, if you got it, you got it. And takes it a very close 3-2 over ReelBreadMix. Versus EN and N here on the Dizzy as well. I think like I've seen them play Anji if I'm not mistaken, but maybe I'm getting my players' names mixed taken so far. But I am also a big enjoyer of Dizzy in this version. This character essentially has been, you know, kind of in a functional version of herself for a little while right now, but a lot of cleaning up and a lot of new functionality given with these new fishes. This Dizzy character, definitely something you gotta be ready for.
FishyFishy going to be ready for those fishes, man. Nice air throw as well. Going to see if we can get this ice spike off of that floor conversion. Definitely love seeing that. I mean, when Dizzy first came out, it was kind of hard to see those ice floor conversions, but at this point in the game, the best are doing it. Fishy, however, turning things around, putting this Dizzy in the corner, and with one combo, closed it out with that super. Great stuff here from Fishy.
To seeing how this ice floor can affect, but honestly, taking advantage of that great arc from the dash in here, that side switch, bit of a reset attempt, but 60 was not able there. That jump in was a little too meaty for the liking. That horizontal drill, they're gonna be able to take a first game FishyFishy, a pretty quick first game as well. You know, we say a lot in a lot of our streams, you know, we've done together. It's like this version of the game feels like a lot of these rounds are going longer, but this is still Guilty Gear Strive, right? You get a couple good hits, then the health bars can definitely evaporate, and the game could be yours damn quickly. So we'll see how EN kind of adjusts here. Likely going to be hopefully seeing a little bit less ice field set. You know, essentially that set can definitely be worked around and kind of disrespected until, you know, your opponent shows that they don't want to move right after. Tries to do the air-to-air attempt there, but a great route. FishyFishy looking cracked tonight.
Gonna spend that burst to keep that pressure up here in the corner. Ian Sharp with that ice spike trying to fight back. Got herself cornered though, so Dizzy gonna have a chance to get this frame trap counter hit. Man, we're just taking turns back and forth, but that sultry performance is gonna get Fishy here a wall break combo. Ian Sharp with a lot of resources here on the other side. Only a soft knockdown, just gotta fight back.
Gotta be done. 100 meter to work with right now. Like Dizzy, essentially keep a lot of those zoning sequences a little bit safer. Also has access to that 100 meter super. Okay, gonna do it off the 2D into the RC. Dizzy 2D, essentially one of the buttons that they touched, probably the hardest there in nerf-wise coming into this version. You know, she had some changes to those big Michael swords, but you know, 2D a much. Oh my gosh! And gets the reset, the command grab. FishyFishy here. Taking this Dizzy through the corner, more than enough damage to get the round. Finds himself here on the cusp of getting a second game, but you know, we've seen Ian a little bit more comfortable with just kind of holding some of the space, but actually gets anti-aired by the stroke into a throw. Fishy looking unstoppable right now.
Yeah, that setup was actually crazy, like the anti-air stroke into the sultry to get like the meaty after. But Ian gonna spend this burst to push you back. Nice jump in here from Fishy. It's going to be that full screen. I guess the hover dash is very good, huh? To be able to get you right over that ice floor. It's a great answer to this matchup. Going to be able to red RC forward. Got this restand in the corner. Fishy does have this burst. Not going to get the chance to spend it, though. Ian Sharp. Oh, try to go for the reset here. Keeping this Eno in the corner. The burst gets spent.
Yeah, I feel like I'm so used to seeing Dizzy go for slump, but we're no longer in an era of slump. And Fishy able to take it there. I like the idea that Ian had of essentially if they were looking to actually do that reset in the corner, kind of let that fire dagger do a bit of the, you know, auto targeting and kind of jail them back down. But Fishy able to fight their way out and get the right couple of mixes they're looking for. Going up 2-0 right now. We'll see here, and finally, but looking a lot cleaner than from that game one. So we're definitely in the precipice. Maybe we can see a game 5 here again, potential reverse sweep. But yeah, definitely you're seeing a lot of that value of the Eno hover dash, not having to really interact with ice floor at all.
Nice defense on the start there from that MLA. Well, opening up with a 2K here and then into that overhead. Doing some quick recovery normals here, probably trying to test for that burst, but Ian Sharp gets a chance to push it out, and that very active ice spike Fishy with too quick of a hover dash, getting put full screen here, hurting quite a bit. In fact, getting a wall break from the other side, but a nice tech there from Fishy. Gets a counter hit and then this jump in after Ian Sharp put all the way back in the corner into a full charge dust with no drop. FishyFishy is going to close out this round and go to set point.
FishyFishy just looking a little too controlled, a little too comfortable in this matchup, and a lot of times, like what Dizzy there gets to experience, depending on maybe how often you fight it, is like people don't always know what they can and can't do against a character that really didn't see a lot of play, especially in that previous version. Push the combo a little bit too far there off of that ice floor pop. Definitely really drops that ratio out. But we are trying to do these hard callouts with the 2H. Don't get me wrong, the dopamine feels great from landing a 2H for Dizzy, but it is so committal right now. Ian looking a little bit lost. I'm looking what they're looking to do. Fuzzy's out there. Oh, actually a goal burst here by Fishy. Just to try to keep this Zizuk in the corner. Makes their way through, able to land in time. Hits the command grab, put him through the wall with a couple of notes, and there it is. FishyFishy taking a strong 3-0 over Ian.
That Sin gonna be fighting up against OEG's Fade Runner here on the Baiken.
There we go. Baiken Sin. The Baiken player matchup that used to essentially keep me up at night with how impossible it felt, but since kind of only been, knocked down a few pegs as the versions have gone on. Shouts to Sin, of course, winning Evo Japan, but definitely with a cracked player behind it here, and Kaneda also an incredibly strong player on the Sin, running away with this first round already from Fade. You have to be a little bit right on their sequence again, but tried to approach with the 2H and the Sin 2S that just hold it right over there here. That round is mine.
Yeah, Kaneda over there representing just mids up there in Ontario. Up north knows how to kick it. Gonna be able to send this Baiken through. Getting enough time to get an eat in there as well. 50 tension built up. Immediate RTL. Trying to go for the single hit confirm, but Fate Runner gets the punish. At least Kaneda was ready with a burst.
Here getting that new seat. Take advantage of that new just growing here with the eat mechanic, getting that increased stamina regen. Fast to be able to do it then, but Baiken's built a little bit too Japanese here, going through that wall. Wait, is that the up gun here? You know what? If that was intentional, Fade Runner, then I gotta hit at you in the DMs and be like, so tell me about why we're doing this here, because that was something I cannot say I've seen that one before, but really appreciate the ingenuity then. But Kaneda still taking it there, just looking so in control, and it kind of feels very often, right? Sin gets to kind of run this plan, and it's up to the Baiken to be able to respond, and so often you start responding correctly, and then they start hitting you with the IAD back JH, and start putting you on the old Twitter clips as well as we go through. But let's see if we get the round start to adjust a little bit. They're great 5K. Gonna get that new connection there with that sped up HKBari, but the sliding low getting clipped out there, trying to 6P. Good throw, gets another stamina regen at the ready, but a 6P again, keeping our pressure going. They putting you through this wall here. One more chomp on the way too. Kaneda looking a little full right now.
Yeah, with some great damage. I gotta say, Kaneda definitely a pretty tame player for the most part, but right now is just holding the W key, and it's working out, I gotta say. Taking out this very first round here in Game 2 against Fade Runner with some great play. Of course, you're seeing some active defense here from Fade. You saw some preemptive 6Ps. You saw the guard cancel attempt right there, probably trying to get that follow-up after Beat Driver. Kaneda right now going to get another jump in, spending that stamina to take it down the screen, and canceling into RTL is going to get this wall break hard knockdown. That meter penalty is going to kick in, but still in a great spot.
Yeah, there. Trey going back to that full speed there, but gets a 2H starter. Ooh, and unfortunately, with Baiken's new version of her 2H, if you don't immediately dial in a follow-up, you're basically going to be getting that hard knockdown and just an OTG after. Ooh, gets a good anti-air on the HKBari. I love that held follow-up to get the side switch, but the DP answering so far. Good pressure here in Kaneda. I'm loving these essentially very low-risk, quick button integration. Just trying to see if they can catch Fade Runner doing something. And then even Fade's been showing a lot of that guard cancel parry, which really hasn't been able to connect on anything so far. Kaneda just looking like they're very well-researched and very comfortable in this matchup. It's going to be up to Fade Runner to be able to answer back. But that's very much Baiken, right? Baiken players have to essentially show that they understand what their opponent wants to do with their character take advantage of that incredibly strong guard cancel parry, and we'll see if Fade here's got a bit of a better idea as we're going into our game 3, or will it be the dreaded 3-0?
Fortune call right there. With that follow-up, Kaneda going to get a throw after the jump in. Good tick throw pressure here. Fade blocking it back. Try to go for that check there on the 6K, I believe, but Kaneda actually getting a whiff punish on it, sending it through with that hard knockdown.
Just took the time to get a quick fight after that hard wall break as well. Great routing here, not going to get up the kill. Very curious if that just essentially resets the buff from when you activate it again, or to continue out, but all great 2S there. Essentially the button that got buffed the most for Baiken coming into this version. Tries to send out a 6K, but it gets /4 your troubles, and Kaneda finding themselves on set point here. See if they can at least adjust so far, but every option, all these RPS situations are coming up all Kaneda all the time.
Hey, getting thrown here, gonna be put in that corner. Can go. Good trade hit on that overhead attempt from Kaneda, and now we got this Sin corner caught by the multi-hit there on the 2D, but Kaneda's still able to fight out, and with no more burst on Fade Runner's side, Kaneda's going to cancel into this RTL, putting you in a bad spot. One more guess for game. Kaneda has 50 tension for Mix as well. Trying to pull up here with these lows, and it's going to be that early guard cancel getting called out. Kaneda moving on.
Axl versus Faust, PABLOMATIC versus Pip Gaming. I think Pip Gaming, I want to say they're from Colorado. They're south of the Colorado scene. That was the scene I first started playing fighting games at. So I'm not had a chance to see Pip in back so far, but so far Pablo looking stuck in this corner right now. The Faust items going absolute crazy. The first having to be spent already. I'm trying to deal with any of this tomfoolery.
Gosh, yo, Pip just playing Faust out of their mind. Able to be plus off of that air hit on bomb. That trumpet buff paying off as it lands directly on you. Man, the items are going crazy. Pip slamming that 6.
I love this 6P just permanently calling out this fuzzy up back that Pablo is taking advantage into, and we're in a version right now where the fuzzy up has just probably only gotten better as we've gone in. So being able to jail down still to more items. Oh my God, we're gonna win with only one normal and item tosses, baby. Let's go.
God. Yo, I don't know if Pip is trying to like complete a bounty or a challenge right now with the 60 item toss. Oh my God! Oh my God!
You got the boys in the Discord right now. Just call him on, dude. One more time. One more. It just keeps going. Oh my God! Throwing out the meteors as well. But Pablo just trying to get an opportunity to play the game too. But another 6P gonna find its way. We have seen Pablo only in this corner for both rounds, and just like that, Pip off the back of a 6P and a few Mario Party games. It's the first game on the board.
Yeah, we gotta ban this Faust Infinite, bro. There's no way this can stay in the game. We gotta get this patched by 514. Pablo in the chat saying, "What the hell was that?" Oh my God! All right,
I'm about to add Daisuke with that clip right there. That's crazy.
Yeah, definitely a hell of a game one. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Great play there from Pip. I mean, you're totally right though, Ganion. Right? I mean, Axl having a great answer for that fuzzy up back JH to try to get out of the corner, right? And Pip, I don't know what Pip's doing, but, but we are definitely calling it out with those 6Ps and those items playing around them. Great play in that first game.
All right, let's see if the roster works a little better here, and I'm having Pablo if we can get Pip on defense, and a good 2D actually get ourselves started. Then so far, Pablo looking a lot better than we had in that first game, but it strikes again when you think your time is over. Oh, I believe we found the button we're looking for to stop this 6P situation. Block and see gets out here again. Oh, I love that up back thing, getting to that drill. Gonna force that out of Pablo, and we're gonna see a little bit of the nerf to the damage there from that PRC, but great routing here so far. Keep Pablo stuck in this corner again. Sequence as well. Okay, take him to the other normals here, showing them that, okay, you got around my 6P. Now deal with the rest of Faust's hit, by the way.
Nice stuff. I mean, Pablo with a great start to this round, keeping back this Faust, trying to do a very brave item call in your face right there, but catching you with the frame trap 5K. Pablo trying to get away from this Faust, but in the corner like that, the 5K keeps you down. Pip out here with a confident air dash forward. Pablo Doing some great job when we finally do get the Faust back, but the run up 6P, man. Pip doing a great job here. Double Afro, not the items you want. We're going to go ahead and put on the Axl anyways.
That full screen, and there's that newly changed sliding, what was once a command grab, now gives access to the guard crush. A bit of an unfortunate use case of that meter there. Going to have a little bit of meter penalty going through this wall. Pods are going to be rolling in. The neutral wall break, sending out the armada of items. Moving forward. Oh, you saw that new mix being able to cancel it early there. The block situation. Pip feeling it though as we got Pablo into this corner, but a back throw incident going to answer a round back. Pablo is feeling alive now, being able to stop it so far, but just when you think it's over, then from beyond, from the dark comes the Faust 6E.
Oh my god, that combo was crazy. Pablo spending the PRC just in case we didn't recover quick enough. Doing some great stuff here. It's going to be that 2K getting the counter hit. I can take a guess at what Pip was picking on the run up there. Y'all can probably guess as well. Nice stuff with the PRC Scarecrow to call out that follow up on the Rensen.
Here again. Oh, trying to get another crossroad in the mix time. With deflection working out here. Great answer from Pablo. Gives them in space. Meter to work with right now. Got the PRC during the combo, so not gonna have to deal with that extra scaling. Back to that more of that neutral situation here. No 50 quite on the side of Pip and taking advantage of the BRC. Pablo gonna get that JP to clip out Pip of the air and gets a game on the board themselves. Says, all right. Show me the rest of Faust Kid, and we got this figured out. But definitely what a start we had of that first game. But great adjustments here by Pablo going into that game too. Well, we're curious to see if Pip has anything else spam-worthy to stop Pablo's game plan, or if we're going to have to use everything in the toolkit to take this one down.
Yeah. Unironically, the mental fortitude to just lock in and be, hey, you want to play that way? I'll just call it out, right? Like, that takes skill, man. Unironically, it's a great play there from Pablo. He's going to burst you back after that jump in. But speaking of, it's our our faded enemy. The run-up 6P, getting the counter hits, man. So, I mean, you got to put that in your back pocket. Pip putting it at some great spots. Got this item toss super here in the corner. And the full charge dust during the guard crush of the meteors allows Pip to take you out here.
Pip just casually pulling double meteors. Definitely saying that I want to win, so may the RNG bless me. But great stuff. Pablo so far getting the hits that we're looking for. Already has Pip down to less than half so far, but a good IED over. Gonna get a great routing here with that reset that keeps the corner. And yes, taking advantage of this new mix, just being able to steer it earlier and essentially drop the extra hits on the way in. Only gets 2 items that throw, maybe only 1 item throw off of that item super. Great fight back so far from Pablo, but still stuck in this corner again. It's time to come through. It's late deflection, he'll get a hit, but the boys keep them safe. Locks it in the corner, gets himself out of the corner for the problem as well. Not able to keep the combo going then, but an attempt on 6P on Wake Up. Pip feel himself a little too much there, and we're getting a duel 3.
Nice stuff. Pablo actually almost got a bombo there, which is pretty insane. Good backdash there from Pip. Pablo's getting a little comfortable with that. Oh my god, Pip with some great reactions here on defense. That time was just missing the meaty. Pablo only needs 1 more hit to close out this round. Pip spending the burst, but getting called out on our approach. Pablo getting a perfect here in game 3, excuse me.
And what a great power-up feeling there as the competitor. Obviously, you're starting to feel that sway of, okay, I kind of got memed on a little bit in game 1, and game 2 is a little bit more back and forth and close, but the game 3 there, ending on a perfect then, you're feeling that high of, okay, I got them figured out. I know what I need to do, but you got to kind of keep that confidence in check, right? Don't let it be too, keep answering as you need to. Let your opponent kind of hang themselves as they run at you with some of these choices there. We'll see if Pablo can take this in a 3-1 situation, or if Pip here can show us the power of 6P and a couple good RNG tosses, with a burst being spent already by Pip, but keep Pablo stuck in this corner.
Ooh, counter hit getting answered back by the burst. Pablo actually calling out that Scarecrow startup. Pip gonna get another chance to do it though, and it's gonna be that PRC snip, keeping this Axl here in the corner, catching you with that JD overhead. And I like the reset here, but I think I saw a startup of 2P, which means we're gonna call that by this reversal super. Even round here for both the players. Pablo fighting out of the corner.
Oh my gosh, Winner managed his constantly clipping here, got 2 hits so far, tried to beat the PRC to round it out, but a throw there gets out of the falling strike there from Faust, followed up the Scarecrow. That's what they're looking for, and now finds himself on set point. And we've been seeing Pablo just once they kind of been able to slow Pip down from some of these sequences, just keep all of these situations going in their favor. Good job by Pip, keeping Pablo kind of guessing in this corner. Beautiful route so far. Oh, good block on that potential side switch attempt here. Gonna get that Scarecrow PRC. A move that definitely also got hit coming into this version with those PRC starter scaling changes, but we'll have to see if Pip can keep Pablo locked on enough there. Great job, gets another snip again. In the Afro, and we're going to another round 3 here. Pip keeping themselves here in this set. Let's see if they can take us to game 5.
Good here with that run-up throw. I gotta say, the throws have been hitting here from Pip, both the command grabs and the normal throws. That same side close slash getting blocked out here. That can be a tricky mix-up, but calling out to the flex shield this time with this command grab. Definitely been very strong with these Afro subs, but Pablo with the 2S to get a counter hit. Still had the Afro lit on her head, but Pip spends the burst to keep you in the corner.
I feel like a lot of times depending on the character in the matchup that actually able to fight out. He did a bit of a front teleport with that Scarecrow. Now back to that full screen game plan. Oh, and the old style trying to beat the command grab. A lot of people still thinking it feels like command grab to punish it the old way. You can't quite do it. Bit of a drop route here from Pip, but keeping Pablo stuck in this corner. The 2K to fire themselves out of it here, pushes Pip back to that full screen. No 50 to send out the Scarecrow after we're getting so close, but an ID back into the JH can be able to stop it. And despite how it started, Pablo looks inward, figures out what they need to do, and takes down Pip Gaming 3-1.
Looking inward. You're totally right there, man. I gotta say, Pip was against Deco Mori here on this Elphelt. We'll see what we got.
An A.B.A character who definitely is, you know, the A.B.A stocks are a little bit down from their player base in this version. Essentially, A.B.A having access to less JR off the rip, as well as just some, you know, strong frame data changes on the recoveries of her Rekka 2. The JH has been changed as well. Essentially, just kind of like, unironically, has to play a little bit more honest until she's in JR, which is very much the character's archetype prior. But so far here, Deco just not really letting Gorble get a lot of chances to play, you know, and Gorble definitely got a couple of the hits you're looking for, but, you know, A.B.A just cannot stay in this JR ridge anymore, because if she does hit that fourth uninstall, she now has essentially a set amount of frames where she is, you know, hittable in that recovery. So far, ooh, bit of a connection issue. Hopefully our players are okay.
Praying, I'm clenching. It's a pretty long one, though. Don't know if this one's going to finish one out. Unfortunate stuff. Probably going to bring it back.
Here we go, y'all. Getting back into it. We have Gorble's A.B.A, Deco Mori on the Elphelt. Let's see how we can adjust going into this redo of the game.
We're trying to get this forward approach. Just using that slow walk. That's all A.B.A has, unless she's using those special moves to try to approach forward. Deco going to catch you here with the overhead on the chainsaw lollipop. Sending you through here with this super. Gorble having the burst, but at this point, we'll have to see if we spend it. Having that wake up 2S, unfortunately had to drop, but with that fast RC, keeps the pressure up going into this force install, but Deco with the reversal super actually gets the connection. Great stuff.
Yeah, I saw the startup starting to happen, and then the super rolling out. Definitely be in, but a good 6H starter. Yeah, that is definitely a very good part to burst there from A.B.A normal mode, but unfortunately, dropping here by Gorble. To these new routes, not quite clicking here so far. Gets that delay into the far slash to pick up for the wall stick, getting that uninstall into the super. Great management so far of that JR meter, but now is it high? Is it low? After good routing here so far from Gorble, showing us that we still got it despite these changes to A.B.A, and we are getting a round back ourselves here. Love to see it, love to see it. You know, this character definitely still able to make you hurt if they're able to connect it, but a good 5H going to force out that burst already from Gorble. And now you're stuck in the A.B.A game plan, the high-low coming in, but on the deflect shield, no way to fall out, but to get that uninstall into that key grab for that wall break. Only a little bit over, you know, just past that chunk to start 25% of that JR meter. These delayed normals trying to catch out this Elphelt from the corner then, but get the super out, gonna put you through that wall here. Guess for game.
And with 50 tension as well. Oh my gosh, tricky stuff, but Deco getting a burst spend with just a pixel left of HP. Gonna get force uninstalled here, so if you're gonna finish the round, you have to do it as the baby. You only need one hit to make it happen. The YRC to push back this Elphelt and going to clip you with the 5H. Got a little spaghetti there at the end, but Gorble clapping back, getting this game after that first disconnection, right? So definitely a nice flip in momentum here.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned flips. Watching that Elphelt flip there, getting that guaranteed punish on that A.B.A forced uninstall. I think it's around 12-ish frames, I want to say, that she is locked into this sequence where you can hit her during that. You know, it is no longer as strong as the Nago mask on essentially thing from that blood exiting the blood rage. So definitely good stuff here to Deco, who's going so far, gets over that A.B.A JR. Being able to at least fight back here, but A.B.A's in a version now where unless she, you're never going to get back as much JR as you end up spending. So finding routing and function to keep the situations high. As we match their way out here again, but good pressure. Oh, it's double JD attempt here. Start a little bit of the Goomba Stomp of our own. Pressure keeps on going. Good trade here. Deco fight out of that corner.
Nice play. Gorble was ready with that install to keep things going if we had to, but all we needed was that last hit to finish it off. Nice, confident 6P here from Deco. Actually gets the pickup after that Pine Berry as well, sending it through. Going to get this positive bonus to try to get 50 as soon as we can, and you have to block out that first Rekka. But unfortunately, getting hit there, going to hit confirm and keep you in the corner. A drop turns into a drop-them-all as Deco only needs one more hit to confirm this round.
I think pretty easy to do here with a 100-meter behind it. Wasn't able to get the RC confirm and keep it going, but Gorble spent the 50 on the deflect shield just to drop the round, and Deco with a great answer back here. Good 6P to call out that falling jump in here. Bit of that reset into the throw. I love this pressure sequence. He hits him with the double overhead. No full combo without meter, though. Oh, actually whiffs the Rekka follow-up then. Gets a wake-up to the 2D key grab. Like shield gonna keep you off so far. I think we actually spent the meter twice there. Oh, gets the crossover there. The Yozansen at home with that back hit of that JH. The routing here keeping himself in this corner. Tries to sit out to the sky with that Danzai, but getting into that sky with that gun. Stop sequence going here. Blocks it out, waits out the follow-up. When will the burst come out? We did the burst a little bit too late. Deco was waiting and was ready. Puts the vest on. Now you have to guess.
Oh man, and because it's A.B.A, you can get away with some of those charge shots. Full screen Deco so safe there to turn into a zoning Elphelt to close out that round. And honestly, you kind of had to do something a little safer there with how low your HP was getting. But Deco with some confident zoning to finish off Gorble there, and it's still a very close game 3. We're going back and forth, swapping the momentum here from both players. Gorble showing off some great play, being able to swift between both of those A.B.A forms. But Deco with some great play as well, showing some pretty tricky stuff there on the Elphelt, right? Being able to air dash out of that Pine Berry to catch you off guard at times. Catching with the Swift Punish 5H, Gorble spending the burst.
Deco so confident putting out some of these normal catch up Gorble in their attempts, and there's immediate burst back, pushing them back to this corner, holding out the sequence again. 2S clipping you for the troubles. Another one of those resets into the throw. Low come out again here. This time we had the meter to keep the combo going, but not too much damage in, but Positive going to be rolling through here in no time. Facing forward with that 6P. Not able to keep the combo going again, but that charge shot kind of vortexing you back in on the follow-up. Deco Mori looking unstoppable in this game 4 so far. Find himself on set point.
You know, before the match, I was saying I hadn't seen too many setups with that charge shot, but Deco definitely showing us some very cool ones in this set. I'm taking notes right now. Not getting opened up by that fast RC, but Gorble still keeping their opponent in the corner. Baited out the YRC. Unfortunately, didn't get the full punish. Deco getting pushed back by this 5H, though.
Oh, and I love the pace there from Gorble. Not trying to push themselves too much. Ended up air blocking one of those follow-ups, which still keep A.B.A plus. Not able to connect the option. Was still falling with that JD, but over here, hits him with the fight. He gets a counter for their troubles as well. Back resets, keeps on going here. Have to guess again. The overhead this time, putting you through the wall. They do with the super. Not going to be enough to kill, but such a good position for Deco right now. Only needs to get maybe 1 or 2 hits tops, be able to do it, and chases in simply with another 2S again. Deco Mori. Those fireballs in this version kind of stops that like default defensive plan of, oh, I'm just going to jump over the fireballs to get around it, or heck, even run eat them right now. Definitely a lot harder to do in this version.
And we'll see Kensei, the king of Kai, going to be coming in here in this player 1 spot. Going to see what we can do here against Astral. Round start pretty tame here outside of Astral, going for that Fujin to start. Got Kensei knocked down a bit here in the corner. And already with the tick throws as well, Astral coming out guns blazing.
Backdash being caught there by that active close slash that gets a burst out of Kensei immediately and gives up to Astral, taking their space after. That's one thing about that follow-up from Kai. Popping that fireball does leave him, you know, a little bit more on the minus side. I can't remember what the exact frames is going to be, but yeah, unless they have that like really good like medium to long range scaling, you could definitely take some space and be able to make that Kai a little bit nervous. But Astral here already working Kensei closer to this corner that is kind of fighting out with the fireball plan. Look at this good dash blocking so far from Astral, getting rewarded, putting Kensei through the wall to get that hard knockdown and set up some good mix.
Kensei FDing you back, but the DP read there from Astral, cashing out a bunch of damage. Unfortunately, dropping that Fujin, but does get a drop to him here. Going to be able to cancel into this super. Is it going to be enough damage? It's going to be close. It's Astral closing out this first game here. Kensei having that burst, but of course stuck on the wall, had no chance to spend it.
Yeah, definitely one of those drop opportunities there, because like I don't think they were going to be able to kill prior to dropping that combo, so definitely enough to do it. Anji super having a couple, you know, good couple chunks of hits on it there, so not too bad at crushing out some guts on its way out. But you know, Kai definitely not one of the highest defensive characters, probably more in that middle ground point, but good stuff there. Astral is looking incredibly in control, but you know, Kensei, we know one of the better Kais to do it out in the Strive space, and we'll have to see if we can work around a character, the behemoth that is Anji Mito in this version. Should be able to do it maybe off the back of these fireballs. So you definitely got to see Kensei's kind of holding that good mid-range space, but Astral is looking so strong at this dash blocking so far, but a good far slash to get ourselves started. That first hard knockdown coming in for Kensei.
Keeping this Anji here in the corner, caught in the air after that spin. Kensei with the shock state was able to cash out a bit of damage. Looking strong here in the start of this round. Definitely a complete flip of the script. At this point, Astral probably going to hold on to that burst as Kensei gets the first round of game 2.
And on the back of a perfect as well. Lucy would be proud, David. Good stuff. Oh, actually blocks out on that overhead getting canceled there. A lot of times Anjis will cancel the Fujin early to throw off your timing of potentially blocking that low. But a good jump over by Astral, showing it there that if Kai wants to actually pop that fireball, if you make it past it, you gotta make him feel it. This fuzzy match here by Kensei, gonna get Astral pushed back into this corner now. An advantage in, but there's 50 for Astral. Looking out for that parry from Anji. Such a scary tactic to work around, that she's able to answer out from there. Ooh, and I love that Kensei kind of seeing if Astral's respect him enough, thinking that the PRC was gonna come after that sliding low. The close-up end up whiffing. Good mash out here from Kensei again. Putting Astral back in his corner. I feel like these two characters have traded corner like 3 times in the past 10 seconds.
Yeah, we're taking turns showing off out here. Oh my god, the BRC Drift 4 reacted to the stun edge with parry. Unfortunately, dropped there on that 2H, but you still got this Kai in the corner. Good, oh my god, good defense there from Kensei, blocking out these Fujin mix-ups. Gonna use that shock state Fudra arc to get in. Trying to bait out the burst here. Astral delaying it, very patient. One more hit will take it, but Kensei catching you with the far slash. Nice stuff. We were slamming that far slash right there. Astral was pulling up, probably trying to go for a throw, but Kensei was able to take you out.
And we're already starting to see what the mind game, the mini game, if you will, of this mind game looks like, right? You have now just spent the first round, maybe the first game, having to run around. Kai's popping the fireball, and then they stop popping the fireball for a little bit, and you start to think, oh, I have to make sure I stop at this point. They get away with a little bit more every time. Definitely good stuff for Kensei. Keeping Astral a little bit more controlled in that second game. We'll have to see if Astral here is a little bit more ready for this back and forth of the mind game. Because, of course, if Anji hits you, definitely going to be hurting. And the sequence is going to go pretty crazy. A bit of a trade there. 2S from Kai. Far slash from the Anji. Going to burst him out into that corner again. Burst immediately being answered back. Then being able to spin through that projectile. But a good knockdown here from Kensei. Did not have the shock state on, though. But did not get the hard knockdown here. Good block on the tap 5D. That was getting a lot of value in that previous game so far from Kensei. But Astral trying to fight back.
Yeah, honestly, Astral definitely confident here on these run-ups, showing 6P, showing the immediate pin, but Kensei keeping you back with these preemptive buttons. Astral just getting clipped, holding that W key, and Kensei finishing you off with a throw. So definitely looking very strong after losing that first game, was able to win one, and now running it down here in this last round. Astral still spinning through, able to get through that stun edge and the follow-up, but Kensei with a good check there on that 2P. Nice hit here from Astral.
Yeah, I love that. Choosing just to do the jump follow-up off of the Fuji, then it can be a little more plus on their way in. Have to burst up that immediate, essentially that charged fireball definitely goes a lot further, but a good ID over with the JS. You get a strong, soft knockdown again, and there's the empower jump. Anji is so fast in that sequence, but a back throw here by Kensei gonna answer out Astral's attempt. Actually dropped the pickup, but able to get a 2P to check anything there. Great stuff to Kensei. A little bit scrambly there at the end, but now it finds itself up 2-1 over Astral. We'll have to see if they can kind of look inward, figure out what they got to do to stop this Kai going. But Kensei seems to have found the rhythm that they need to kind of work around what Astral is looking to bring right now. We saw some spins through some of the fireballs, which definitely got some value, but Kensei's kind of just holding the space right now where even if Astral makes it past the fireball, you still have to worry about a strong far slash to run into.
Yeah, and the pressure has got to be true, right? Because Kensei's been able to mash out on some of these with 2P, even when Astral's getting buttons on hit, you know, going for this pin and such. So Kensei, not afraid to keep this Anji back despite how tough they are in approaching. Astral going to spend that burst to put their opponent in the corner. Nagia connects. The burst is spent from Kensei to try to push you back out of the corner. Nice hits here from Astral, but holding forward like that, getting us punished again is Kensei able to press the far slash and then catch your back dash here to send you to the corner.
Yeah, look at that chunk of damage, and on Anji of all characters too. Definitely quite impressive with our round choices. Ooh, gets the 2S hit, but no pickup fully. But the so much control for Kensei here. Has 50 meter to work with. Astral as well. Gonna spin on their way through. Back-to-back spins. Jumps over. That is how you can work around that fish option if you have the 50 behind it. So Kensei answering back this tool from Anji that is so crucial to their game plan, but Astral finding at least a good hit here in the second round. 2 counter hits to get ourselves going then. There's the DP from Kensei. Hadn't seen DP in a while, honestly. Drops that HDP follow-up pickup. Astral loves we can finish our food here. There should be a round in our favor. Did not get the super cancel. Rin wasn't able to do it, but just a hair remaining. A simple leg being thrown out. Enough to take it. Good stuff, Astral. Answer back another round, keeping themselves here in this set so far. But Kensei just gets one more round, and this could be their set.
Nice stuff here. Oh, but caught on the follow-up of the bird here. Astral using that 6P Fujin cancel, hop cancel to get closer to Kensei here, but that shock state DP route going to put you in the corner. Gets the meaty far slash. Astral saw the drop on the Fujar, thought we could press, but Kensei said no. And only one more hit to close out this round. It's going to be the far slash counter hit. Kensei closing that set out 3-1. And Garbanzo just in time with a $20 contribution to the match arena. Thank you very much, homie.
We have 2 wonderful gamers coming up. We got Weeb with a Wacom, maybe a tablet, maybe something else there on the Bedman, question mark, and Hexx here on the Faust. 2 different Fausts here tonight then. So a lot of item tops coming in heavy so far, but a great 6B then. A little bit of our turn back and a burst as well just to stop the Armada, but Mini Faust got me.
Yeah, that Mini Faust, definitely a little homie out here. That trumpet buff, so big nowadays. Hexx able to get it despite Weeb trying to FD you back. The slow walk up command grab there, asserting our dominance, but Weeb with a great back throw, answering you right back. Delilah with the afro is so cute, but the YRC going to push you back, keeping that violence up. Hexx taking you to the next other side of the screen. Actually goes for some distance to get some items out here. Weeb trying to dance around that bomb.
With the IID back, but at least this sequencing still working out for Hexx's favor going into this second round, and a little bit of space just moving back right now to get potentially an item set up then, but good stuff to Weeb, not letting Hexx get away with throwing too much. Good IB, going to be able to allow for a back throw. Weeb not quite ready for that sequence again, but the banana peel was still there. Nothing like getting the health from the banana just to fall on top of it, to fall over. 5K anti-air from the Faust coming through, pushing you through that wall. Still got the Afro on the head here. BRC in forward there, but the far session was already active from Weeb, able to fight back right now. We'll see if Hexx gets a chance to even use this Afro.
Better see to keep your Beyblade safe. Oh, confident 6P back there from Hexx. I mean, from Weeb, rather, the fight against Hexx, but that bomb. Trying to go for a burst bait here. Weeb not biting, but does get a chance to spend it here on that counter hit 6H. Both players just trying to walk back. I love Hexx crawling under that projectile, getting a 6P item toss here, but not going to get that trumpet as Weeb gets a back throw here.
Weeb tried to move backwards after the throw to pick up the horn, but it ended up not even being able to connect it to pick it up there, and then essentially gave Hexx the ability to wake up, press something, and confirm the round out and the game out for themselves. But Weeb, they're definitely able to kind of stop some sequences again, and Faust definitely not the highest damage character in this version outside of some very specific setups right now. Yeah, of course, losing access to or say not losing access, but essentially getting scaling increase there for the damage when it comes to any of those PRC setups from the Scarecrow. But let's see here how Weeb doing just so far. So far, this new round looking a lot more in their favor. Already having Hexx in this corner. Good empty low to get herself started. And here comes the Bedman game plan. Keep stuck in this corner, hold these air follow-ups, then with a good throw for so far for Hexx, taking that turn back.
Oh, getting frame trapped here on that 2H. Hexx saw the 100-ton weight. I like the backdash to try to avoid it. A charge shot there from Weeb using that arrow projectile to fight back here against Hexx as well. Actually spacing out that 6P. A lot of anime fighting game happening right here. A lot of air dashing, especially with the 8-way there from Weeb, but Hexx actually going to catch you in the air with that JH and convert into a wall break. Great play.
Absolutely here, but good hit again by Weeb, going to get himself started. Going through in this first round. Timer ticking down. Both these characters at basically even life right now. Hexx being clipped by a few of these Mito follow-ups again. Good 2H to chase out this Faust. Try to bait out the burst again. Another bait to go through. Definitely got to be careful then, but I can respect their being worried about Hexx, even that burst to go back to that full screen situation. Weeb able to find a round in their favor. Actually clipping the back of that bomb with their 2H. Sends it in a perfect arc here for Weeb. Pushing to this corner. Good round sequence again. Gets a quick bite to eat. Ends up being a bit of a hairball, but still a great sequence so far there. But good stuff to Weeb, catching out with that JH from this Bedman. And we find what we need. Gonna cancel off of that. I love the PRC out of the Scarecrow to get the air throw. Good answers back there from Hexx. Hexx trying to keep Weeb locked down. Reverse super coming in, but I think a little bit too spaced out. We were ready for it anyway, but the counter hit punish right now. One of my favorite changes coming into the version this year is all of these supers having that, counter hit, the level 4 counter hit, essentially slow down and on that big hit. Great stuff here. Weeb trying their best, but Hexx doing their best as well to keep the sequence going for them. Pushing through this corner again. Positive bones rolling, and Hexx off to a strong start.
Yeah, I mean, Hexx with some great combos and great pickups here. Linking that 5K to keep this Bedman in the corner. I like the use of that JS, but try to get an extra item each there. Got caught by our own bomb. Gonna YRC back this Bedman to try to keep this pressure up with these items. The gold burst gets spent. So Weeb doing a good job of double jumping away from that bomb, going to get the benefit of that positive bonus, turning it into a combo here.
Oh, I love that. There gets that JD side switch. Oh, up into the drill. Gonna get Hexx in the corner. Wake up 6P. Stopping it now. I feel like we saw this movie before. The power of 6P compels you. Gets a quick bite to eat, but not going to go through the wall with any kind of hard knockdown. Back to that neutral. Both characters BRC at each other, but the one who does in second gets to respond with the throw. A super delayed 6H. Hexx mixing themselves here, and Weeb, with a little bit of life left, is able to take it, and we got a game apiece.
And proud, you're strong. I love that win quote there from Weeb at the very end. Getting that game here on the board. Definitely both players showing off quite a bit. I really love the way that Hexx is picking up a lot of these items, a lot of these stray air hits here against this Bedman. But Weeb with some great play as well, finishing it off there. Again, not afraid to throw out that Sloverhead, saying, hey, look, one more hit, one more reaction. Are you ready for this Sloverhead? Not today as we move on to game 3. We're going to see what this round start is. Very aggressive stuff there with Weeb putting out that 2K, already getting this Faust up here in the corner.
Yeah, and I love that. Having that arrow in the back pocket and be able to sneak the throw because they're so worried about it, you know, essentially going off and proccing, but get the burst out of Hexx right away then. Tries a bit of the item mini game then, but be able to move forward in. Good frame trap with the Beyblade there. Gonna get that held H starter. Still has access to the follow-up then, getting that reset on the command, but a good 5P there from Hexx, stopping Weeb to get another reset. Here's to see when that burst is gonna be coming out. So far, not quite yet here. Cross through on the mix. There it is. Burst help into the corner, but the Faust super, despite being a reversal, has that slow startup, which is going to allow Weeb to be able to FD cancel in time and not do their follow-up they maybe were looking for. Hexx there tried to fight out, essentially when you're right but also wrong, just because of the way your character is built. Definitely can be a feels bad man. A good big hit to get started. No full combo though, but Hexx stuck in this corner, has to fight out.
Nice job catching with that 5K, using that banana, and not the item you always want to see, but Hexx doing a good job of keeping this Bedman down because of it. Actually blocking out the follow-up of Love, realizing we were too close for that one, but it's going to be Weeb who is going to represent a wall break. Hexx fighting the burst to avoid it, going into this install here, but Hexx pulling up, try to go for a 6P, but Weeb answers with our own.
But not able to get the 5K to the mix car despite the dash cancel. Get the throw off of that Scarecrow. Damage scaled, but still a great situation for it. We're not able to get the 2H to connect after that deflect shield. Hexx still has a chance to keep themselves in this game 3 here. One more good hit should be enough to do it. There it is. Great stuff. Good routing from Hexx. Taking us to a round 3 of this game 3. Momentum can definitely swing so much your opponent's way. You've been so close to taking the game and not able to quite do it. But so far, we've not looking like the 2 out shape from that. Then gets a little bit more of that space there back from this mini Faust. Not sure where it is on the screen at this point, but there it comes flying in here. Not what you want to be seeing with that trumpet then, keep you locked down in this corner, calling in the boys. Good block on that side switch, but another crossover mix again to gain so much value in this set.
Like the way these J2Ks are playing this matchup for us right now. Weeb trying to catch you with some of these 2Ds, but Hexx able to dance right over it. Another throw coming out here. These throws from the Bedman have been so strong. Hexx trying to keep you back here with some of these blocks. I like that fuzzy 2K to just get them off of you. Pulling up after, got our own Afro to use.
Here again, tries to send out a 6P off a potential poke attempt, but not able to connect to the 6H. Boys are coming in. Good jail down. I love that chasing Bedman up to that sky, bring him down with that JS, and then into the trumpet. Makes it over here again, but an empty landing grab with that mix. Puts another game on the board here for Hexx. Finds themselves now sitting at a standard strong 2-1. One more game. Be able to help them move maybe a little bit further in the bracket. Curious kind of where Hexx and we were sitting at right now in that top 8 run-in, but we appreciate these players bringing out an incredibly strong showing of both these characters here. 2 characters that kind of probably are roughly, you know, maybe in the same places they were in the previous patch. You know, maybe Faust kind of essentially still sitting in that, you know, bottom chunk of the cast. Bedman probably essentially, you know, above it, and you're kind of seeing a little bit more of that pacing change. Definitely can affect these characters, and reward not being as big, but a burst being spent by both sides in the first 9 seconds. We're playing some guilty here.
Yeah, and also being able to see both of the monster characters out here too. If you're looking for some weird characters in Strive, well, they're on the screen right now. Good mix up there with the corner steal on that Scarecrow, catching Weeb off guard, using the right RC to take it all the way down the screen. Death of 1,000 cuts out here. The mini Faust actually whiffing, but the YRC to keep this Bedman back, and the follow-up on the item, taking out Weeb here. Hexx with some good awareness moves on the set point.
I'm starting to wonder if we've kind of figured out what they need to do to work around this odd character in Faust, and despite that first round going the way of Hexx here, it's looking like quite a Weeb round right now, putting Hexx through this wall, the positive rolling in, already has access to the 50. Here's to see if we're going to do it. Actually makes the Weeb underneath that exploding head. ID pressure again. 2K going to get a good hit on that startup. Faust has access to the board, pick it up there, tries to make it over, cancel out with the PRC, still gets clipped for their troubles. Spend 100 meter to try to keep it your turn, and Hexx now having all this control. The trade actually kind of working out in the favor of Weeb. Gets a little more space right now. They cut his way through. Good use case of that Scarecrow. PRC gets that command grab, but a gold burst right now, having Weeb pushing Hexx back to this corner. Wants his access there, but the throw still active to get the pop, but kind of an awkward pickup here. Able to catch the trumpet in the air, but to get it on landing at least. Wait to the goggles. We finish our food. It should be the game for Hexx as well. Gonna take a quick wheelchair to this poor bed's ankles, and there you have it, y'all. Hexx taking it 3-1 over Weeb with a Wacom. Yeah, and this is a matchup here where, you know, Anji definitely has kind of the ability to work through some of these error follow-ups from Bedman to access to that spin, and I'm curious to see how often maybe even the jump scare of like that empowered Fujin into the hop can work around some of the pin, you know, projectile from Bedman definitely has some pretty strong tracking them, but depending on how you pick your approach angles, you can absolutely work around this projectile. But here we go. First set of our top 8 here versus the Paragon. We are at number 84. Let's get to it. Astral off to a really good start so far, getting the pressure going, but a good fuzzy match from JazzPanther and get that turn back here. Have the error at the ready. Ooh, and no punish on the Beyblade there.
Yeah, I was looking it up today. It's like minus 11 or something on that Beyblade. So you can probably get your close slashes in if you're ready for it, that is. But getting this meaty special move, keeping you here in this corner. Astral with the fuzzy jump, trying to get out with the FEs as well, but getting countered here on this 2H. JazzPanther spending only half of that meter to send you through here. Meter penalty, but still having 50 for the tension. The hard knockdown as well. Astral trying to keep you back.
Oh, and there it is. They go tap 5 DRC. Naka's been out the burst. Ooh, bit of a drop there. Definitely not intentional, but still gets the cleanup there. I have to say one of the biggest buffs that Bedman got that essentially kind of kept their pressure a lot scarier after wall breaking was keeping those errors going through the wall. The essential early version of this character did not have these tools to carry over. He spent all this time getting a special move out just to lose it when you break the wall there. So good stuff, JazzPanther. A pretty good advantage so far in this first game. A good match through. Have an up RC to at least get the error at the ready. Oh, but a good standing 5P there from Astral to stop JazzPanther's continued approach, but Jazz answering back already, able to find their way through, to put you through that wall again. Have another error at the ready. There's a 100 meter from this Anji though, but a good 2K. Get ourselves started. Burst is going to be building up, and Astral and I are going to give the satisfaction of a burst bait to JazzPanther, taking a pretty resounding and quick game 1.
Stuff, man. Anji definitely a character you got to be ready for, especially here in this season 2.0. But Bedman also a character that you got to be ready, man. I mean, if you're playing out here in these top 8s and stuff, you got to have at least one Bedman friend that you hit up at least once a month for some games, or else you're going to be caught off guard by this guy. So we'll see. JazzPanther definitely looking very strong in this game 1. Astral, she's been playing hot out here in this Anji. Gonna see what she can do here in this game 2. Confident 5K round start to try to keep you back. But JazzPanther clipping you here on the start.
Astral already, not trying to take any of this corner pressure from the Bedman, but a good use of that 8-way air dash to cut their way in through this Anji pressure. Moving through the veil of the fire, catching it through the delayed charge in the H follow-up there. This sequence is looking like it's going to be all JazzPanther, no matter how you block it out. Then great patterns and essentially keeping Astral locked down to get a perfect as well. Definitely it can be a challenging thing to do against how tanky Anji is. A spin at the round start here, at least get the burst answering back from Jazz. And I'm kind of curious right now as players start to play this version out more. You know, Anji definitely doesn't have as big of a damage reward off of getting correct spins, so sometimes saving that burst from maybe a scarier starter could be worth it, but so far Jazz getting this Astral push to this corner again, locking down for the mix.
Dripping here with this overhead. Oh, by blocking out the Nagia, Jazz finding a good chance to fight back with that 2P. Both these characters having that pretty good match option to keep you back, but Astral right now keeping exclusion pressure to keep this Bedman locked in the corner. A lot of respect given, but clipped there on that counter hit. Astral going immediately into this guts crush. Gonna take out Jazz, evening up the rounds.
Yeah, and you're seeing that new Nagia Low. Not only does it have that great spacing, he's only -3 off of that, so If anyone has played a couple characters like Baiken or Soul, -3 is very much a comfy, RPF spot for the aggressor a lot of times, and what normally you choose on the follow-up. So good stuff to Astral here. Take advantage of these new empowered Fusion follow-up, but this time we're ready for the punish. No FD canceling that time. Close enough to get that close slash. This is so big. Spin still active. We should be able to make it through, and we definitely do. Gonna go through that wall. This would have killed in the previous version, but the scaling from Spin not going to be enough to cause this to be a kill. Full burst here on the side of JazzPanther. Will we end up using it so far? Not going to get the chance to. Maybe getting caught up there. Actually got a counter hit, so definitely tried to press something there at the end. Good stuff to Astral answering back. Very strong, showing what this new Anji can do.
Strong play, man. Both players even it up 1-1. Definitely a strong way to start off this top 8. We got a whole bracket ahead of us, guys. If you're just now getting here, you're just in time. Both these players want to keep making their way through. Ganyan brought it up earlier. You've already had to play so many matches to get qualified here for this top 8 through that ladder bracket. You still got a whole top 8 ahead of you. If you want to contribute to these prize pools as well, !Match Arena, get that number up by claiming those codes. In the meantime, we're watching Jazz out here clipping it back with these pins. Good dash blocks here from Astral, and gets a counter hit here to start things off.
Put you into the casino now, and a new access, like essentially your opponent respecting the close slash into that 2H. But I think there's a 9-frame gap in between, but good parry right now, stopping that approaching sequence there from JazzPanther's Bedman. But actually ends up countering out with that 6P. Ooh, not quite able to finish the route. No stick to the corner, but a good far slash counter to get herself started. Astral not gonna spend that burst anytime soon. Simply delay on that fuzzy 2P, stopping JazzPanther in their tracks. Incredible back and forth, but kind of seeing both these, round starts for both players, kind of taking turns, winning out on the sequence again. Sometimes it feels like you can never quite guess right. Both these players are guessing right, but now we have you in that corner. In case another backdash out with that close slash. Not going to find a connection point right now, but Jazz has to guess right. Only a few more guesses left in the chamber. Overhead going through, but we catch the fuzzy jump out with a 5D. And just like that, Astral put in another game on the board. Now 2 in a row. And all it would take is one more to be able to move on in this top 8.
Jazz definitely with a strong start and is still playing strong. But I mean, I was saying it earlier when we had Astral on stream. She's got that W key stuck down, bro. She's holding forward, but for good reason. Ready to get those dash blocks and get those quick punishes after, trying to steal some turns with that fast 2P. And she's doing so right here, up 2-1. Gonna see if she can't close it out here. If you're rooting for this Anji out here, I saw some Astral fans earlier, but Jazz looking strong in this Bedman, the only Bedman we got in this top 8. So if you want to see this bed move forward, let me hear you.
Absolutely, that's like TP stopping that follow-up then with great answering back so far to get that 2H rolling through. That's not there yet. I love that, being able to send out the Beyblade and having the follow-up of the error to keep it plus. No meter necessary. Here's another one, another far slash connecting here. JazzPanther looking so alive here in this first round, ready putting Astral through that wall. Astral has access to that full burst, but I don't know if we're going to spend it if we do get the hit there, but to get started, baits out with that RC, not going to be utilized there. Grist up to JazzPanther going up in this first round. A little bit down in the burst meter economy. Let's see if that hit is going to matter. So far, we're probably getting pushed to this corner and no access to the burst. We're stuck in this Anji vortex.
Ooh, nice stuff, sending you through, getting as much damage as we can with that overhead, but keeping the meter here to keep that approach safe with PRC, and it paid off. 6P in this Bedman down to the other side and building it right back up with that positive bonus. Jazz trying to fight back out with that 2P and gets this far slash counter hit. Astral answering right back with this burst to keep our opponent cornered.
And you're seeing Astral trying to fish there with that Nagiha and power Nagiha spacing. A good far slash again to get us a lot of value. That the empty landing into the throw. Catch them with the JD side switch RC just to keep the combo more consistent. Bedman kind of lost some of the routing that they get off of that JD in this version. But these back and forth are going crazy. The throw going to be able to connect into that RC and a 6H to clean out that round. We are getting a game 5 in our first set of top 8. I got a feeling this is going to be a good one, Jeek.
Definitely, man. I mean, I'm excited to see the bed. I'm keeping a buck. I like seeing my monster characters out. Khalil was giving us some JazzPanther lore, apparently an OG back from the DBFZ days. coming out here, still playing Strive, playing it out here on the bed. But Astral, no slouch out here on the Anji. She's going to try to keep it down if she can. We got some JazzPanther fans in the chat. I see you, Brian. We'll see what we got here rolling into this game 5. It's the battle of the 2Ps out here.
One is the mightiest. We will find out. A good IDJS. Yes, they'll start it. Gets up to Jazz. Answering back to this Anji pressure. But Astral going for the hard call out with the code. No punish coming out of Jazz. And with the fighting range to be able to do so. Pressure coming through again. That early cancel Fujin into the overhead, getting so much value. People get so used to essentially like a rough, fuzzy timing of going from the low to the high. But Anji's able to break that a little bit early. Astral's pressure looks so strong when they get you in that lockdown sequence. We'll see if Jazz can answer back. Right now, Astral here sitting on set point.
Good, Matt. There's that 2P. Catching this back dash here with that JS, the error code to keep the combo going. JazzPanther with some strong pressure sequences, but getting that throw, jump forward, had to spend that burst. Despite that, Astral still going to get this red RC 2H combo to send the bed through the wall. Jazz going to have that resource on the other side, though, to fight back, but Astral sitting here on set point.
Try to send out the fish, but we were ready to be able to take the space back and counter hit with that far slash of our own. It's up to Jazz doing their best, but 6P going to stop any of your delayed aerial approaches here. Astral now with all the momentum, 100 meter behind them to work with. Jazz going to have to guess right 2 more times, 1 more time left, and we were able to see it like it was in slow-mo. The deflect shield not going to do it. Astral going to take a very close 3-2 over JazzPanther.
Great play there from Astral. Very confident hold there on the 5D at the end, you know. I mean, like you said, once you saw that slowdown of the
that patented Zato, let's get into it.
Here we go. And with the Mayano top tier, I know Brian's also an Uma fan, so we'll see out here. Gonna spend that burst, pushing back. Wrist Candy, of course, been pulling up on the Johnny, wearing that sweet tooth branding. tskrBrian, of course, coming out here on this Zato. Character got a lot of love here in this patch. Of course, Brian's been cooking on this character regardless of what the patch notes have been saying. Trying to mix you up here in the corner. Good blocks there from Wrist Candy. The defense lasted for 5 seconds, but the mix went on for 6. So we're going to be sending you through out here, Brian, with this hard knockdown, pinning you down with this Eddie. Wrist Candy trying to block it out. I like the K-Fighter to fight forward. The Red OC on that 5P to keep the pressure.
Blocking out for the sequence again. Tank Eddie keeping us safe, but not safe enough. Getting back thrown for our troubles right now. Stuck in the corner against Johnny. It can happen to you. One wrong hit could spell the end, especially when you are a low defense character such as Zato. There's that press coming through again, but the side switch and Senga, another one for the fans. Getting a full pickup off of the counter hit version and into the Joker's tricks. I was so close, but not close enough. Round 1 going to Wrist Candy.
Nice stuff out there. Both players getting to show off a bit, but Wrist Candy with a good comeback sequence. Brian, with the break the law, and Wrist Candy with some good defense on it. I like that JS here, the fight back in the air, but getting clipped by that 5H. I like the burst to try to push it back. But now Wrist Candy pulling back up with these step dashes. These Nsengas have been so strong.
There. Oh, came out of the invite hell at the wrong time to meet a 5H for your troubles. What's my name? Throw up the letter J real quick and push to that wall. Big chunk of damage coming through here. Hard knockdown coming in. Gonna get that IDJH. Try to chase out any fuzzy jump attempts with that 2D. Brian here, not a lot of life to work with, but does have 50. You have to guess one more mix up here. Not able to fight their way out, and a simple throw to do it. Wrist Candy gonna take game 1.
Strong stuff there. Wrist Candy keeping you back. Those Nsengas were crazy. Also some very patient defense here against Brian on that Eddie, man. Brian going to be trying to open you up just the start of the set here, but you're going to be thrown a couple of options by the end of this. I mean, already showing that break the law crossover, but Wrist was already ready for it, so strong stuff there. We'll see what we got going into this game 2.
That was a Chan Johnny here as well, doing his best. Already got his summer Summer coat in as well there, but oh, the frog actually catcher dash up attempt after the 6P on that delayed bar slash here. Ooh, good trade combo here. Risk Candy ready for these pickups again. Bug jump gonna get Brian at least out of that sequence. Tries to chase on their way in, but Eddie pulling you back in for your trouble. Built in on the side switch to just get the stand there. Let the Eddie man do the work for you. Great stuff here. This routing from Brian looking so clean right now. Even though we didn't get the combo pickup again, we have Risk right. We are looking for them to be. Sneak the command grab in, gets to build up the full Eddie meter. Doesn't even need to go through the wall for him. One more knockdown. We are simply going to kill, and the round going the way of Brian. Great answer back to how the way the game 1 went.
I like it. I mean, good answer there on the round start as well, dancing around that 6K Risk. Risking spending that burst to keep you back afterwards. I like this P Finder just trying to get some knockdowns here. I mean, S Finder, excuse me. Brian with that jump back though, looking pretty strong, but Risk Candy catching on with those 6Ps. Brian spending back our own burst this time. Catching with that command grab again. We've been strong with this tick throw.
Yeah, we're seeing Brian navigate around these misfinders with the breaking the laws, so definitely a very cool utilization of that tool in Zato. It's something mostly used for setups, but use it in neutral, definitely a great application of it. But this RC routing, at least get that hard out we're looking for. Tries to do a bit of a bait on a potential fight back attempt. Had the tank Eddie ready with that snake follow-up, but we are trapped again. The 5H frame track, gonna get a big counter hit. Get a chance to bring out the Zato again. Double empty lows coming in. If at first it don't succeed, give it a try again. And it is dinner time. Eddie getting a quick snack, and Brian getting a game on the board for it. We got one apiece.
Trading back and forth out here, getting these games. Strong stuff from these players, man. We already got one game 5 here in losers. Maybe we'll get another one. Don't mean to call it too soon. But both players showing off out here. Brian, no slouch on the Zato. A character you're going to... I mean, if you weren't ready for him before, if you weren't already playing against him in that Season 1, maybe playing against the 1 or 2 Zatos that were lingering after he got taken out back, you got to be ready now. The character's seen some love. And the, the connoisseurs have been putting in years of work at this point, Brian included. Risk Candy, of course, on that Johnny, a character that's definitely had his time in the limelight, but still no slouch either. Looking pretty strong out here, but getting caught on the round start. Brian trying to keep you back. The oppose was called, but Risk Candy still fighting through with the Finder.
Easy, and Zop take advantage of this float, which is an even stronger tool than it was before in the previous version. And a little more control, a little more angles you can adjust on their way in. Again, 6B's through that misfinder, so it's not going to deal with this projectile. Go ahead and fight their way out. Have to spin up that burst just to keep Brian locked in this corner. I'm assuming Brian's gonna get there out. Yep, Anton with that burst back. They're gonna take that mix up again, but chases out with the vault deal, puts you through that wall with an Insenga real quick. And it can still go either way. Ooh, do not have any Eddie meter left to be able to cancel in for a further pickup. All but runs right in to the 6H. Not what we want to be seeing. Risk Candy there taking a strong round here in this game 3.
All right, get you with that 6K again. This time is more of like a whiff punish 6K. Definitely delayed there. Brian with that run up 6B, very confident. We're trying to put this Johnny down so we can get our own pressure ran out here. The oppose to keep your 5B safe. Definitely some very strong setups there from Brian. Risk Candy trying to block out in the corner, but getting counter hit here on our wake up. Brian catching with the low and then taking a bite out.
Big chomp coming through, gets set up that free Eddie pressure, gets into the tank, who catches out that misfinder stands. Another dinner bell has been rung, but it's not enough to take out Johnny quite yet, but a hard knockdown. No Eddie meter behind it too, but believed enough to get that stagger into the throw. Brian with the strong pressure, keeping Risk Candy guessing here in this round 3, but already having to spend out that burst. Risk Candy's now still on the defense, despite spending that first edge mechanic. Brian in such a great position to potentially take this round and get the game answering back, but a good punish on that 6B by Risk Candy. And he's getting the burst being spent back here again, but a good pickup. Get that Zato, the Eddie unsummoned to keep that Zato meter high. Oh, a bit of a JP attempt there. I'm kind of curious if we're looking to bait out, but definitely keeps Brian locked in the corner. But good fun jump into that JK. Space out the wire, C be able to answer back, but good stuff here again, chasing out, not letting the Zato leave the corner on their own will, but Kitchen and then invite hell to get that knockdown, sits out the Eddie. Good side switch then to keep Miss Candy guessing, not able to quite take it, but the damage isn't high enough then, but a held 5D puts through the wall with the 6H again. Good stuff to Brian, just constantly keeping wrist on the back foot there and puts another game on the board for themselves.
Man, I don't know about you, Ganion, but that 6H always surprises me, man, how much damage it does on those wall breaks, man. So strong stuff. Brian able to finish off that game pretty confidently. He knew as we roll up into this game 4 out here. Brian, of course, sitting with the lead. Catching you with that break the law there at the end to start off that sequence. I mean, Brian's got a lot of setups, a lot of mixes you're going to have to deal with here on the Zato. You're looking at 2 characters on the other side of the screen, but Rich Candy is doing a pretty good job of navigating around it so far. You need to get some more games out here.
Loving this like tank piloting so far by Brian, just kind of constantly threatening this Eddie. Yeah, press into me, please do, so I can punish you for it. So he's getting Brian pushed away to this corner, tries to send out another misfinder, but this time Brian was absolutely ready. Takes a little bit of space, no pick him off of the far slash. Good block there on the cross through, but tried to throw out their jump in, and we're seeing Brian do a lot of these like land and then immediately take up into flight again, just to see how Riscan is going to at least try to fight back with looking to do any kind of fuzzy P's or throws again. But that command grab resets that Eddie meter, and able to block it. Tried to actually throw maybe on a punch net, but way too spaced out, and Brian's looking to be running away with this round.
Catching you here with that Pierce. It's going to be the throw to finish it off. Unfortunate stuff there. tskrBrian here. Of course, depending on who you're rooting for, that is. Brian here on set point. Try to go. Oh, okay. Brian with the disrespect on that 5D, but Risk Candy calling that with the 6K. Going to spend that burst afterwards. Risk Candy trying to hit Brian back to his senses, saying, come on, man. Trying to keep you back with some of these K finers. I like that confident approach here. Catching you with the JK. Great clip there. Good block on the overhead. Oh, the super spin getting punished by that full charge dust. Great punish here from Brian, but the burst spin.
Don't know exactly which input that J Super is on. Could have maybe been a TK misfinder oopsie moment. Haven't been on the character you're running, but good navigation around that Zato 6P. Able to get a landing into that JS, and of course misfinder to clean it up. Risk Candy still staying in this set so far, saying I'm not done yet. I want to bring this to a game 5. But Brian and Eddie have a few things to say about that. Good throw into that frog pickup again. No Eddie meter going through this wall with positive bonus. It's a great place to be in.
Man, Brian with the double float there, by the way. My man going for, like, the layer 4s. My man having a lot of fun right now, and that's when Brian's at his strongest. Bristandy saying, sit down, man. God damn. Throwing him down with that air throw. Trying to bring this Eddie, this Zato, all the way to the corner. Going to be able to float out, but unfortunately couldn't get that air grab, and Brian spends the red RC.
Yeah, going to get the burst spent out by Risk Candy. Need to do that, otherwise it would be potentially curtains for him there. Brian with a pretty good life lead, but 100 meter on the side of Risk Candy, and takes advantage of the midfinder. Gets the RC to cancel and actually fight through the tank. But we were ready with the 6P and a counter blitz in top 8. You too can make it to top 8 of ParagOnline if you use that new mechanic. Wild Assault, who? Brian says not needed here. Strong 3 there we have on the Kai, but here we go, y'all. Our winners semifinals, the first one of tonight. So far, it's off to a great start, getting that counter hit Dolphin, but a good 2P anti-air, stopping that 6K then from this May, but sending out that up Dolphin, keeping Kensei stuck in this corner. One more hit, and the burst will likely be coming out. There it is, sending immediately back right now, and there's that new pop that Kai has access to from those fireballs. Stops a lot of that air game plan from May, taking to the skies.
A lot of patience here from Insert. You see Kensei doing a little bit of shimmy here, trying to see if we can get this May to press, but Insert not falling for it yet. Nice counter hit here after that vertical Dolphin, chasing it down with PRC. Kensei blocking it out, but getting punished there, so still stuck in the corner. I like this FD to try to keep that May back as far as possible. Do not want to be close to her. Keeping you back here with that shock stay, but Insert calling out that jump in with a back throw.
Oh, I tried to send out the up Dolphin to get a bit of space, and being called out. Not enough to likely potentially kill. Good YRC at least stop the further sequence then, in a simple Dolphin cancel into that JP. Gonna net the first round, going Insert's way. Both these players here about even in that burst meter then, but you have to take a full combo when you do get hit. And not only that, taking about 50 just for a wrong choice near that round start. We are 6 seconds in, and Kensei is already potentially bleeding on the floor. Insert looking unstoppable here in this round.
With that same side, here's the Dolphin bunker to close out the round. Going to be that close slash at the end, getting a perfect here from Insert. I mean, definitely, a stark contrast from that first round where both players going back and forth. Insert, which is a very confident second round to close out that first game. But that's why Guilty Gear Strive is 1st to 3, right? You get those opportunities where maybe one player is going to get a perfect, but we got a whole set ahead to see what we got. And Kensei, no slouch out here on this Kai. Definitely some great defense. Very willing to press that FD to try to keep this Mei back, to push her out and get that chance to fight back out with our own strong slash normals, our own jump outs as well. But Insert coming out on top in this first game. We'll see if he can keep it up.
I'm curious here what Kensei's feeling that they need to adjust going into this round, because, like, getting the right hit can definitely happen there, but Mei is absolutely capable of snowballing the right hit into a knockdown situation, especially if you have no defensive utility in either a deflect shield, a burst, or even a YRC to stop it. But hey, blocking out 3K is a great way. Kensei showing you the power of dash blocking in Guilty Gear Strive. A battle of trades, counter ringing through the halls. But Gold Burst can at least get some space here for Insert. Followed the far slash actually anti-airing for Mei here. Looking so much better here for Kensei in this round at least, but now Insert full pressure, gets the close slash starter, and a good chunk of damage puts you through this wall. Luckily for that PR scaling, that would have been a lot more damage in a previous version, so Kensei feeling a little better here so far. Oh, a double JD route, but not able to keep the combo going, but gets to push this corner. Insert fighting out the ID back and not going to quite clip there with the fall for the 2H after. Insert immediately going to burst, knows that they can get this round still, but the 2X going to find the mark. Meter to be able to cancel it, and good stuff to Kensei getting round 1.
I like how we built up the tension just in time on that stun dipper to close it out. Very confident round start there on the jump forward, but just as much so for Insert with that 5H. I like that 6K, but Kensei calling it out, getting a counter hit, trying to abuse that 6K pressure to keep pulling up on this Mei. Shock State being abused with that stun dipper, but Insert getting a chance to try to backdash out. Kensei keeping it down with that smite. Insert, very interesting movement to try to move in here and gets that hit.
You're seeing a great way. If your character has really quick, an ability to kind of essentially break out the movement, Mei definitely very capable of that with the Dolphin. But here we go. The Dolphin loops coming in. A good chunk of damage here. Guess out on that left, right. Ooh, not able to connect normal after here. It's able just to backdash, take a little bit of space, but the 6P going to call out the falling recovery frames of this Mei on the way in. Good lightning strike to pop and catch this Mei for her troubles here, but falling out into the right hit again. Take you into this wall, into the glass, put you through with the Sacred Edge, and Kensei gonna answer back and put a game on the board themselves. We got one apiece.
And what I say, man, that's why we play 1st to 3. Insert got to show off a bit in that game 1, and Kensei clapping right back. The I got gapped, the very humble lose quote there from Insert. Great stuff as we're rolling into this game 3, man. We've had some very close sets so far in the top 8, and this one's no different. I mean, a little cliche to say, but honestly, this could have been a grand finals match, both of these players, Kensei and Insert, but we're just starting off in the winner side of top 8, both these players. Gonna see who keeps moving on here as we roll into this game 3. Confident round starts from both of these players. Maybe things will tone down. No, we're slamming that far slash.
Not only far slash, but able to Dolphin cancel, hop off, and just get a throw. Kensei respecting Insert on that pressure. Misses out on the throw. Backdash touching out here. Great stuff to Insert, trying to take some space after blocking out that lightning strike follow-up. But a good 5D routing to get that H fireball into the HDP to keep the sequence going. A good chunk of damage, put Insert through this wall. Positive gonna start rolling in, but that far slash anti-airing again. Insert so good with these placements, but freeing Willie here and putting them through the wall to get that hard knockdown. 50 still in the chamber, so don't even need it from the positive. Not going to quite get any bit on from quite yet here. Kensei now has access potentially to that Dragon Install. Going to use it at least to keep the 6K, to keep the pressure going. But Kensei a little bit scared there to take the picture from a good anti-air. I should say air-to-air there. Going to force Insert to spend out that burst. Bit of a trade not going in the favor of Kensei. And it actually catches out the backdash with that sliding low. Great routing here. And Kensei staying the course despite the low health and find themselves up the round here. Love to see this level of play, this level of adjustment. And the biggest thing I'm seeing right now, Jeek, is Kensei is meeting to the skies with Insert and sending them back to the ocean.
Yeah, because Insert's definitely been having some interesting movement, like good movement, no implicit meaning there, just very strong up forward to try to get around Kensei. So you have to meet him up there. Like you said, put that fish back down. But here's that May bunker coming back out. Insert with 100 tension built up to try to mix it. It's going to be on that throw red RC to close it out. Full charge on that 6H to make sure we get it. Evening up the rounds here. We got a set on our hands. We're rolling up into game 3. Insert catching with the cross up low and baiting out the DP as well. That's going to hurt.
Save that meter, push it through with that held 6H. Almost have 100 in the chamber for Insert once we at least have access to take our turn back. Kensei spacing out, maybe trying to bait out a YRC or deflect shield attempt. It gets underneath from that fireball. Definitely had to PRC. Kensei, you are full counter hit as you're falling from that sequence again. Another air-to-air with the shock stay. Allowed it for a good route, but a good JS retreating here. Not able to get the full combo, but still a good position to be in. We're letting May get in on you there. The multiple 5P overheads coming through. Not able to keep the combo quite going. Sends out 6P to try to answer back on a poke, but not going to find its mark. So JS here doing so much for Kensei. Getting that not looking for, but right up to the 5D, the Kai Classic. Helping Kensei not only take the round, but put another game. And they are up 2-1 over Insert's May right now. One more win will have them into winners finals. But this is Insert we are talking about. Definitely one of the spookiest Mays to meet in an online bracket. I definitely could see them taking this to a game 5. But I have to say, Kensei's utilization of in the air, May's approach is looking immaculate in this set.
Yeah, I mean, Kensei, definitely not a player that's under the radar by any means, but one that deserves a lot more praise than I think he gets for how consistent he's been playing, how much he practices, and how often you see him kicking ass in these top 8s. Insert no slouch either, so to have a lead at all is definitely quite the feat. Good IBFD on that cross up low to put this May down here in the corner. The far slash to fight back. Counter hitting in the air. Kensei confidently spending that burst to keep this May in the corner, but Insert doing a good job of getting out.
Yeah, the backdash is out of that kind of back sequence there from Insert. That's kind of respect. Now the May's a lot closer when you use that pop. Tries to fuzzy 2P out here, but Insert heavy stuck in this corner right now. Scary spot to be in against May. Put you through that wall. Just got access to the 50, so didn't have the option to be able to use any kind of super follow-up here. But good hit confirmed, recognizing after that far slash dolphin that we were in a combo. The RC just to keep the combo going, and Insert here doing their best to be able to take us to that game 5. But a good dash block, get an IB that dire clat, keep ourselves close to get that good punish here. Dash blocking so important in this version of Guilty Gear. It's always been a good part of the utilization of working around in Guilty Gear when you can do it, but you're not able to quite get that 5D pickup after. Right, keeping this May caught in the corner here, but an air dolphin gets a big counter hit, but a fuzzy mash to answer back, pushing it all the way back to this corner again.
Ooh, Insert with some great movements and not only get under the sun edge, but avoid the smite follow-up after. Insert staying a lot more grounded in these latter rounds, and it's been paying off here, but Kensei getting that hit, the shock state was already applied, so being able to DP you to get that follow-up after. What an awesome change for Kai that we've been playing with for a minute now in these patches. 5D is going to be the mix, and Kensei moves on to set point.
So much value. Insert not quite able to cut out. And the mental stack there, right? Everyone says like, oh, I'd block the dust offline, but you know, this game, the level of players you're playing against now, the mental stack goes so high. They used to be basic, could potentially be what it takes to take you out here. But Insert off to a really good start here in this round 3. Almost at 100 meters, so it's actually so much functionality. But a close slash anti-air, great way to get started again. Cancel out into the super early, not enough to quite kill. This is quite an uphill battle from Kensei. Actually got a direct clap for their troubles. I'm wondering if the DP got crossed up and we just got the 2-1-4S instead. Good stuff, a good attempt there, but Insert bringing us to that beautiful, beautiful Game 5. I love when you can see players of this caliber adjusting back and forth to each other, showing things. We saw the IBFDs rolling out. We saw tons of clashes of these normals. Great air-to-airs from Kensei here. I cannot wait to see how this Game 5 shakes up.
We'll see out here, man. Rolling up to this Game 5. I'm glad we're getting one. I mean, getting them so consistently, that is. We're going to see how Kensei plays out this round start. Some confident round starts early in the round. Insert definitely very confidently throwing out that far slash, it feels. See, we got that one on the start here as well. We're going to pull up before we pull it out. Kensei FD blocking back this Dolphin throw-in May out here. Insert put down into this corner. Shock state after that stun edge. Caught by the Fujar. Spends the burst.
Was looking to try there, did not end up working, but this time we were ready with that early lightning strike pop on the fireball, stopping Insert from being too close here. No press there, able to land into the little 5P jab to check it out, but a good 2P from Kensei, stopping that Dolphin on the approach. Insert now on the back foot here after work against 100 meter on the side of Kensei, able to at least get a close slash to get started, but wasn't able to get the combo going. Chases out here again, stopping out that Dolphin approach with the fireball, not able to keep a combo going. Insert ran all the way across the screen just to get put back in the corner again. And this great routing here, Kensei almost has Insert sweating for the end, but the quick RC after that jump in gets another overhead for their troubles. Kensei now find themselves at set point.
That tick throw to keep this Kai down, catching the backdash with 2K. Kensei spends the burst. Wants to keep this lead, doesn't want to give May any shot with that positive bonus. Trying to use these plus frames here to keep running down. Insert great vertical Dolphin, like a pseudo DP to get out of that corner. Catching Kensei with the cross up low, getting mixed out here. The same side getting blocked. Kensei with a good jump back to try to fight out against Insert.
Relentless right now. Love the illusion of that S Dolphin into the RC to be able to punish it out, put you through the wall. I think with Yamato-san, it should be enough to do it. No, not quite. The scaling a little bit too high. Definitely was also the RC. I think we made it out this. Oh, we actually didn't. Wasn't able to land in time. We've been to something quite else here. Insert having to spend that burst to keep themselves here in this round, and the Dolphin able to connect. But if you are Kensei, obviously winning that round would have been the best situation. But this is a pretty good plan B, being up that burst meter. We are going to push this corner already. Burst having to be spent out, not to take too much more pressure from Inserts. May, good FD kind of drift canceling there just to work around some of these projectiles here again. But Kensei got you knocked down, push to this corner here. No full pickup right now, but the tap 5D coming in, put you through that wall. Bit of positive working in the direction, and Kensei potentially could do this here. So back to neutral.
Scoop you down with these projectiles here. Insert getting caught by that Sun Nipper, giving us that enhanced Oki after the flex shield, pushing you back. But at this point, the resources are low. The FD being spent to try to keep Kensei back. The 5D getting blocked. The red RC to keep our turn. The strikes come out. Insert keeping you down. Good 5H counter hit to fight out of that corner, taking Kensei downtown.
So Fuji right now, empty low. Insert pressure going too heavy there. I love that early cancel off the deflection being hit. Be able to get right back in, put through the wall with Yamato one more time. A good, but it actually ends up whiffing. It was too late in the cancel, not able to quite get it to connect. A bit of an odd scramble. Back to more of that neutral then. Both players are trying to commit too much. 5H a little bit too close. The cancel actually went over. We were not able to pick it up. It is scramble central right now, but the Air Dolphin able to still connect. Not quite up to be able to answer it again, but a simple far slash, and that's how that game ends. FishyFishy on the Potemkin against MacMens.
Okay, definitely not what I expected, but hey, I'm learning today. FishyFishy got that Potemkin secondary out here. And we're getting exposed to it live out here, Gagnon. MacMens gonna have to adapt to this change as well. Keeping back with that flick. Fishy trying to catch you out here with some of these whiff punish slash buttons. Pulling up after that hammer fall. MacMens trying that distance back. Look how patient he is, not feeling like we're forced to try to get in. Waits for the perfect moment to jump over that buster, but the burst gets spent to keep your opponent in the corner by DRC. MacMens trying to get away as well.
I'm being updated by live by Khalil in the chat here. I would say, yeah, like I saw the name. I don't know if FishyFishy was going for some inside joke I'm not aware of, but apparently Busta Rhymes wanted nothing better than to get a quick, you know, a quick free advertisement for their play on the Paragon tonight here. But MacMens putting Busta through the wall here, playing Fishy at home.
Oh, so it is Fishy. They just changed their name to Busta Rhymes, who is a known Potemkin player. And then Khalil was like, why the hell are you in here? And kept kicking them. And that's why it took so long to get in here. But no, it's just FishyFishy doing a very confusing meme out here. Okay, definitely. I don't even know if what I just said is accurate. That's how confused I am. But MacMens still getting a round up here. Looking strong, trying to space out against the Potemkin. Fast RC spent to keep this corner pressure, but a good 2P match.
I've never been mixed so hard on commentary in my life.
Yeah, oh my god.
Like I just got put on the timeline right now. There's at least 7 Twitter clips of this exact moment happening. But good stuff, Fishy here. Despite running this character, I'm not familiar with them having in their repertoire. To definitely see at least the character choice. We talked about it earlier. Like, what does Eno do into a character like Anji? But heck, skip the idea. We are in a version of Guilty Gear. We're picking up secondaries. This is absolutely something you consider if you're struggling with a matchup. Gets good hard knockdown again. Gets that Garuda pressure. Continue going. Catching out the backdash. And then this tumble going, but it was still active. If it was the last version, you could be dead, but you can no longer cancel those invincible supers with that 50 after 50 being spent. Fishy gonna answer with that back Mega Fist to clip out MacMens and a round apiece. Despite us all knowing who everyone is right now, is Busta Rhymes in the house with us, right? The Potemkin Buster coming through. LPG set up again here. 2K2D being able to clip, and this is gonna do a lot of damage because of being a blue beat combo, but not enough quite to kill. We're gonna get that hard knockdown.
The threat of the throw, trying to clip you out with a normal. MacMens using the fast RC to keep the pressure up. The overhead getting blocked out here. Fishy checking in with that 5P, didn't get the full conversion, but was able to finish it off regardless. FishyFishy with the secondary Potemkin and the Omega mix-up, even before the match started, getting the first game.
FishyFishy with the Busta Rhymes install coming out here. Definitely surprising us all. Like I read the first part of the update and I did not keep it going to see that. Nope, this is actually FishyFishy just doing their best cosplay. Maybe their favorite Potemkin player. Maybe just Potemkin player that they're, you know, good buddies with. Definitely quite the tip of the hat. But here we go, y'all. Game 2 right now. See how MacMens can adjust. Having to know that they're thinking maybe run to the Eno. Now fighting off against this Potemkin. No burst being spent yet by either of our players. And MacMens at least get the sequence going. Good 6B anti-air pushing back to this corner to be able to connect that Fujin into the follow-up super off that cancel. Hard knockdown coming in here again. She's going to get it, but then reverse back with that hammer fall. 2D knockdown coming in. Deflect shield stopping out that Garuda. Now how to deal with that. 90 JP. They're actually going to cancel out and clip out that hammer fall break with that 5H. A good knockdown here by Fishy. Gets MacMens stuck in this corner. We're fighting out though. We're swinging with everything we got. A good route will definitely be pushing Fishy through this wall, but not enough to quite kill yet.
Nice job jumping over that 2S, but getting countered here. It's going to be MacMens closing out a close round out here. Fishy with the strong secondary Potemkin, maybe trained by Busta Rhymes himself out here, so learning from the best. Fishy going to get that 2D to try to fight out of the corner. The 6H getting spun right through. MacMens canceling in the super, trying to take this hard knockdown as soon as he can.
Build Burst can at least stop MacMens from keep on going and build up some of that meter here. Give Potemkin what he's looking for. Will there be a window? Oh, no window necessary. Just keep that combo going. Gonna force MacMens to spend out that burst, falling with that JS, trying their best to stop. MacMens being able to approach. PRC cancel here. Bit of these traps with these K buttons. Again, all of our meter gone for troubles. Here's that knockdown coming through. Have to fight out a little more the natural way. Good stagger close slashes here. MacMens not quite biting on the jump. He's knocked down Fishy in such a great spot right now. Actually cuts out that 2P fuzzy mash attempt with that Garuda and a round apiece, despite MacMens getting a better feeling of what they need to do into this Potemkin. Fishy still putting out a strong showing. Taking it potentially up to a 2-0.
Nice job here, but jumping from Fishy. Trying to get that throw, but MacMens feeling it out. Gets that backdash to get away. Not getting pop buster today. Not when you're on the secondary, that is. Trying to keep you back with these Nagias. Good 5H to fight out. Fishy's still stuck here in this corner, but MacMens not able to keep that pressure up. Does spend the burst to try to keep it going, but this fast RC after Hammerfall, Fishy looking good.
Cancels there, getting so much value, lowering out that meter penalty. Who gets a 2H trade, but not able to keep the combo going. So much have been done there. Fuzzy 2P at the ready this time. Gets that knockdown with the 6H, but now back more to that neutral. Try to send it out with the Nagia cancel off of the Fujin. Not able to quite do it. Not a lot of health left to work with. One wrong hit could be the end of it for you. Works around that 5H there. Fujin canceling out. Nagia not gonna get punished. Fishy thinking back for the cancel with that PRC. Has to spend the burst then. Back to neutral we go. But a simple empty jump into the throw stops MacMens' approaching attempt. And it looked a hell of a lot closer than game one. But FishyFishy doing their best. Buster Rhymes cosplay. Doing up 2 games on the board right now. 1 more to get a chance to run it against Insert here. Or we'll have to see if MacMens can kind of dive deep and figure out what they need to do to be able to fight back.
Bro, Potemkin is crazy, man. Can I say that? Khalil, can I say that? Man. Okay, we're rolling into game 3. Fishy been playing strong. Showing you how powerful you can be. And look at MacMens saying, you know what? If you can't beat him, join him. We're pulling out another secondary out here. It's going to be the sin to try to fight back, trying to get through some of these armored moves. Trying to mix up this Fishy. I love that heat tackle here on the round. Start to corner ourselves, but actually getting MacMens in the corner after that back throw.
Yeah, I tried to actually combo out, but it ended up whiffing because of crouching. And at least have Fishy spinning out this burst so far from MacMens' pressure, but these stagger lows keeping the pressure going. Beating out that armor with the red RC pop. The recognition by MacMens what they need to do. Trying to at least get that cancel. Try to go as stamina free as possible to not have to spend it. But there it is again. FRC into that Garuda. Gonna force MacMens to spend the burst themselves. Was looking a little bit better, at least than the Anji matchup was looking so far. Fishing out with these far slashes. Not quite able to get anything to quite connect. Don't deep punish them, but a good IAD JS there from MacMens. Gonna push Fishy through this wall. Still 2 stamina to spend right now, but no super to keep the sequence going after. But another hammerfall into the RC. Keeps the combo going. Gonna get a hard knockdown here, but not gonna be enough to kill.
Oh, wow. Okay, the BRC spent into that Garuda. MacMens gonna catch you with the tap dust and a very close round 1 here. Both players basically going to be evened up on that burst. Fishy with a strong round start to try to go for that Garuda, but MacMens DPing right out.
Players kind of pulling out the space here, but being able to at least threat out that slide head from this full screen. It looks like able to connect with that JH, but at least that burst keeps Fishy in this corner. Hammerfall able to anti-air you out of your flip attempt there. YRC to stop that FRC. Cancel Garuda again. And Fishy in this corner. This time the overhead connecting, get a counter hit. With the space back. They're trying to get reversal pop busted for our trouble. Kicked out of the sky though. Hard knockdown coming in. Backdash unable to keep himself from getting connected by that Garuda. Clip their way here. 6K to clip it out. Able to space out the DP. No full combo again. Second hit falling down. This time to be able to take it. And FishyFishy is 1 round away from moving on to winners finals.
caught on that round start, though. MacMens looking strong, getting multiple counter hits to put this pot in the corner. Fishy very confident trying to go for that back throw, but MacMens not letting it happen out here. The 2D getting pressed. Fishy over there breakdancing. Nice DP through. MacMens trying to just get a full combo out here. We are just button testing, I gotta say. Getting another counter hit, keeping this pot in the corner. The overhead gets blocked. The RC gets spent. The tap dust comes out, but no RC to follow it up. Fishy spends the burst.
Spend the meter to get the knockdown they're looking for. Tries to chase out a backdash with that 6H, but not able to find it. And MacMens on this switch to Sin to answer back this grappler demon. Potemkin, the absolute, you know, top tier of last patch, essentially likely not too far off from where he was in the current version, despite some knockdowns there. That walk speed, absolutely no joke, and of course still some great conversions and good damage depending on the hits you get. So we love to see players being able to bring out these secondaries there to answer some of these annoying matchups they might run into. So here we go, we're at game 4, y'all. The winner of this take on Insert, of course, in winners finals. Let's see if MacMens can do the reverse sweep there from a secondary then, and unfortunately a 6H is meeting them at half fight off that burst.
Ooh. Didn't burst it back here. Gonna catch you again with that hammer fall. Trying to go for that throw. I gotta say, MacMens has been doing a really good job of avoiding those pop busters. Fishy blocking out this mix-up attempt from MacMens, but shimmies the throw again. Good anti-air.
Just gonna clip, then get that knockdown. MacMens gonna hit for that 5P on the wake up. And a lot of health to actually work with. A bit of trade working in the favor of Fishy. MacMens stuck in this corner. Flicks are being sent, trying to take out that annoying little fly. But a JS on the way in puts Fishy once again at set point. See if MacMens can find the correct couple of hits, and a 2S counter hits a place to get started. But once again, that ID back JH doing everything for MacMens right now. Putting themselves strongly in this set so far. Bit of maybe an intentional drop there. 2H not able to quite connect. Chases out with a 6K off of that unwall stick, but multiple 2Ds from FishyFishy putting out the big disjointed button there at the low. It's clipped probably to block on the overhead though. Does follow to keep himself at least safe. But a gold burst answering back right now. MacMens trying to keep themselves here in this set, but the Potemkin Buster is gonna find it. A good chunk of damage for your troubles.
Garuda pressure coming up to 6K to close the gap. MacMens not wanting to get thrown here, holding that up back. Trying to shimmy out another throw attempt, but Fishy wise to it this time around. Preemptive 2P getting hoof stomped over. Trying to pull up here with that hammer fall break. MacMens with the beak driver closes out the round to even things up. Fishy still remains on set point.
It's like so often when you find players at this kind of switch, it's like, do you play a little bit more loose if you are feeling the pressure of that sequence gear again? Good 6H, and that double hammer fall break pushes to that corner. The break up DP. MacMens getting actually an anti-air far slash as well. Definitely getting a lot of value, but MacMens constantly getting pushed back to this corner. Fishy just not letting MacMens out, giving them a chance to be able to play. Answering back with a burst of their own here. Gonna send out that cancel option again. Ooh, a bit of a switch up off that J8, not what they're looking for. But once again, both players able to potentially get the next hit, keep their sequence going. Meter advantage in the favor of MacMens, but FishyFishy gonna be able to punish that attempt to 6P. That's the Garuda. DP coming through again. No pop-ups. I would have been able to be the one to potentially take this round and take this game. Looks to be up to Fishy playing his defense right now from this mid-range game plan. Find a couple slide heads to come through, farm a little bit of meter up as well. Timer on the clock is ticking down. Both players not wanting to be able to commit a little too heavy. 2K2D gonna find the mark. The flex shield gets a bit of space off through it again. Guess a few more times, and this could be yours. That should be clipped by the Garuda again. At this point, one more hit could tell it for Fishy to move forward, but they're feeling it a little too much. MacMens didn't get the overhead, but didn't get the RC pop to keep the combo going.
God, the preemptive 2P getting counter hit here. FishyFishy needed one lick in to close out the set, but MacMens said not today. Able to get that counter hit and brings us to game 5.
Ooh. And just a couple of those sequences, you could feel a bit of the anxiety, a couple of the button choices, a little bit, you're not too confident what we're looking to do, and you saw it really slow down in that final round there. You're getting down to like the 20 to 30 second range. Definitely could have still gone either way, but would be crazy to see MacMens do this, make the reverse sweep on this secondary pick. They're looking a lot comfier bringing the Sin into Potemkin in this version than the Anji. Anji Potemkin has definitely not necessarily been in Anji's favor for a lot of the versions in quite some time, but definitely, pretty crazy to see here that someone of MacMens Cavalry is ready with this new pick, or at least more into the Potemkin pick here again. Good 6Ps, stopping this pressure here from MacMens so far, but a BRC gonna cancel you out in the low. Burst being spent out by FishyFishy, trying to keep themselves in this round here as we get in our game 5.
The battle of the normals out here. Fishy trying to clip you with that 6H, that 2P, also being very preemptive with it. MacMens getting caught by that hammer fall. This time the Red RC confirms the hit. MacMens spending the burst to keep you back. Doesn't want to go forward and get too greedy and then called out by Fishy here. In fact, is playing a very strong spacing game. If it's death by 1,000 cuts, whatever, as long as whatever gets you to win. But the hammerfall PRC again, but this time MacMens ready with the YRC to keep you back. Heat tackle, good hit confirm on those lights from Fishy. Got the Sin in the corner. The flick actually outspaced. MacMens so patient here, goes for the counter hit but couldn't get the beat. Oh man, in the heat knuckle, the hitch through. Great stuff there from Fishy, bringing us to set point. MacMens with this full stamina, gonna be very patient out here again. I like that gameplay, just spacing out, trying to catch you with some of these 5Hs into the beaks as well. Gets the punish, couldn't get the full conversion. Fishy, however, getting counter hit a bit here in the corner. Needs to build up some tension if we're gonna do that hammerfall Red RC.
I feel one wrong choice from MacMens Fishy could spell out this set, but at least has Fishy stuck in this corner. Full burst meter. I'm kind of wondering if Fishy's really willing to spend burst at this point right now. Maybe for the right hit, be willing to do it. 6H and put a good chunk of damage into MacMens, but back to that full screen they go. Getting off, at least catch off that back. There's the flex shield stopping that Garuda attempt, but a good IAD JH over. Gonna keep our pressure still running, but that pot 5P stopping you out for all your sequences again. But another IAD JS this time. Gonna bring us to our final round of our game 5. The winner of this moves forward to winners finals. The loser still has the chance to run it from that loser's side. Could still go either way. So far, Fishy finding a couple of good stray hits, but MacMen at least at the health lead so far again. Playing out that strong mid-range attempt. Oh no, a deflect shield! Not able to quite connect and find anything. Fishy now at a great burst advantage, but actually still able to fight their way out again. Armor going to help out for what we're looking for, but not able to space out the Garuda enough for it. That DP PRC back to keep ourselves from getting caught by that follow-up again. Both these players playing on the edge of their seats right now. Spaced out Garuda, another one getting clipped again. Is this enough to do it? Canceling a little bit early and sending it out. Salute him out here. Heavenly Potemkin Buster is gonna move FishyFishy on this Potemkin character 3-2 over MacMens.
Team kill out here. It's gonna be the Anji v Zato. We'll see what we got.
I have to imagine it's not a matchup that Zatos will be enjoying, but at least if you keep Anji blocking, he ain't having a very good time himself. But so far, Brian up to a little bit of a life lead here, having the pressure, getting pushed with Anji all the way to the corner right now, but a good air throw, pushing MacMens back down to this corner. Try to stall out a little bit of Eddie, but we have to fight back ourselves right now. There's that burst. Get that free Eddie summon as well. Once again, Eddie gonna take a bit of a break, and Zato gonna have to block this one out against the fan wielding man of himself here. Not trying to send it out here. I love canceling that far slash into spin just to stop Brian 6H on the way again. MacMens showing us a great counterplay here for this matchup.
Oh, the battle of the 2Ps out here. Brian gets the hit and the Red RC confirmed. MacMen's gonna burst you back. Fighting very strongly around that oppose, but tskrBrian going to be able to 6P it down into this corner. The YRC, I love that delay spend on it so that we can actually connect with Brian on the jump-in attempt.
blocking out these overheads, but the low connects, and Brian sends MacMens right through.
Get some positive rolling in. Let's get him that burst meter back. I think I'm going to be seeing 50 in the tension category, but who needs it when you have the boy Eddie to keep the combo going? Great routing and recognition there from Brian going up in this first round. MacMens had to maybe readjust to this Anji character after playing that Sin in the previous set. Also shout out to Westernite for the raid. We appreciate y'all. Probably watch some Paragon, Guilty Gear Strive ladder action. We are in our top 8 here, losers quarters right now. And Brian pressuring this Anji character, putting him through the wall. Dinner time, Snack coming through a good chunk of damage, getting that free Eddie set up here again. Here's him mashing here and chases out the up tech as well with that frog, baiting out a throw with a 6H2. Brian taking a perfect here at the end of game 1. You love to see it.
Great stuff to open us up there. Brian out here, 9-5er. Well, actually earlier than that, said, hey, Khalil, throw me in. I got to get to work tomorrow. We'll see how this set goes. But Brian looking like he's still trying his hardest out here to get these points on the board. I don't know. Maybe Brian wins and stays in this bracket. We're going to have to call his employer tomorrow and say, hey, well, you know, Brian's going to be maybe a couple hours late. He's got to sleep in. He's out here trying to fight up against Anji. MacMen's very patient, trying to spin through these Eddie setups. The oppose going to get us a hit.
Kiske trying to get a doctor's note for fighting Anji. I respect that, honestly. So. Good stuff here. Brian hold up a bit of that wall, letting Tank Eddie do a lot of the holding of the line for you here. Tries to invite Hell to get underneath some of that pressure. That not going to be able to get punished so far from MacMens. Actually able to spin through the fall from Eddie, but Fish not going to find its mark. 5H counter hit into the invite here, so keeps that combo going. We'll get a YRC. I feel like normally these stops at this level are so good at baiting out that mechanic, but can't bait it out forever. Not going to be able to clip it out here, but the respect not quite fully maintained. Brian going to backdash out of that. Going to go ahead and invite Hell out of that corner. Good throw tech here by MacMens. At least stops that pressure for a little bit from Brian. As things are way in again. And these double floats have been getting so much mileage for Brian in their test tonight. Luck out of the high-low. MacMens able to get out of that corner. Great IAD out, but invite Hell PRC. I would have killed your last version, but you're still alive in this one. And MacMens do it and spins their way into a Sharknado. That is not what you're looking for.
Nice stuff out here. Brian's still trying to keep that. Oh my god, dude. This is the worst gear I've ever seen, Daniel, but I'm here for it. Brian keeping it down here with this Labubu. The opponent's coming out as well. Bringing MacMens down to the corner that was just blocked to fight back here against this Eddie. Trading with that 5H, but does get this air hit. Nagia chasing down with 2H. Good jump back from Brian there on that throw attempt. The burst getting spent to keep back MacMens.
Wave of drills here from Eddie, and I love that we're getting all these unsummons in right at the end to get essentially our full bar back. Good fuzzy 5P chasing out that backdash, even willing to spend the RC after to make sure we get that confirmed hit. Brian just looking so in control right now. MacMens trying their best, finds their way in with that JS and RC to keep the sequence going, but Eddie's still alive in the back. So Eddie gonna get set up here again. Gonna end up with that run up into the throw, whiffing out with the follow up, not able to get punished for it, and we are floating with the best of them. A bit of a reset attempt, so Brian was definitely pressing something despite getting hit. This is your reward, taking 50% and a hard knockdown.
Brian didn't get that micro walk before the throw, and Brian was able to clip 2 RC. The combo drops. MacMens with 50 touches catches you with the Nagia. Brian backdashing himself into the corner, caught by that Fujin low. MacMens evening up the rounds.
Gears of hell of a game. You guys get a lot. It's been an incredibly entertaining top 8, I have to say, so far. So I love the players taking advantage of all their tools in the tool chest to see how they can best their opponent. Good routing so far. MacMens going to force Brian to spend out that burst right now. He push here, double overhead coming through. Eddie keeping the combo going, but a burst able to find its mark and stop that combo from going any further. Ooh, no throw attempt there on that landing JH. Honestly, it's so hard to essentially punish that JH no matter what you do. YRC gets our turn back here. A bit of dash blocking. Unfortunately, going to get clipped there by that low. Getting caught up of that Fujin startup here. Positive gonna be rolling in for MacMens as well. Almost has access to that 50. 100 meter on the side of Brian. How we get a chance to use it? We'll be on the YRC. We end up blocking out the overhead. 2 HP ourselves plus. There's that YRC. Taking a bit of that space.
Okay, MacMen saying, okay, go ahead and use your Eddie. Oh my god, what a great jump around that frog. Brian in the corner, respecting the plus frames of 2H, but too much respect as MacMens gets a tick throw instead. Evening up the score, 1-1. At least MacMen's taking this set as serious as possible out here. Brian definitely having a lot of fun. But you can't have too much fun against MacMens, man. One of the best Anjis out there. And even though it's an A.B.A team kill, MacMen's not going to go easy on you.
Yeah, definitely quite an exciting exchange of blows going back and forth here. I definitely wonder how both these players feel about the matchup from the other side. And you're kind of seeing these like sequences where they are trying to fight out with some of these tools. And then we're getting quite a mixture of kind of odd moments that who knows if either of them are ready for it, right? So always great to see players of this caliber still kind of have to oops their way into some sequences working out, right? There's so many weird hits you can get. Aerial backdash getting hit by a regular far slash. Do you have that? Do you know what you want to do? But so far, 2P into the 6H. A good chunk of damage coming through in this first round. Looking very MacMens leaning. One more wrong guess will be more than enough to do it. I love that little micro pause just to see if Brian was a little bit more of a frustrated burster there. But Brian holding strong here despite giving up that first round.
Yeah, Brian very patient right there, keeping that burst. But MacMen's showing you that you can't have too much fun, man. Brian already taking it more serious, I gotta say. Gonna be able to get this command grab out here, keeping it back as well with that far slash. Burst being spent, doesn't want to be sent through. That Eddie coming back here, full meter on the side of Brian in terms of that Eddie. This enhanced Fujin chasing you down, keeping you in the corner, but a good 2S punish from Brian.
Eddie, a bit of mixing for us here. You're retreating, using that float, but a 2K2D knockdown is coming in heavy. Brian, I want to take any of that mix up then, knowing maybe the next mix might be their last. Empty low gets blocked out here. Overhead coming through again. Single overheads back to back, but no further commitment being spent. There's the Sunvoid to keep this Eddie alive and reset. This time JD gonna catch it out. Gonna go ahead and get the command grab to connect. Be able to combo into that fast RC JH down. And Brian doing an incredible job here, bringing us back to a round 3 of our game 3. He said he wanted to go to bed, but he's playing like he's trying to win the whole damn thing.
Yeah, MacMen, hey, yo, if Brian's going to bed, MacMen's going to put you to sleep out here. The flex shield pushing you back, trying to keep you in the corner. Nice backdash out of that far slash. Better see to keep that pressure up, but caught by that overhead. Going to keep this. Oh, man, this time it was going to be a ground bounce, but couldn't get too much of a pickup before Brian was able to spend that YRC, taking you down the screen, trying to backdash away, but catching you with the 2S.
Right here, but Bedman pulled strong. Flipped out by the frog attempt. Another frog connecting, get that reset, unsummon, resummon again, reset that Eddie meter. Empty low, not quite connecting there. Thinking a throw's gonna come out, but does a late clip again. Put through the wall, get the hard knockdown. It's looking like quite a Brian potential winning round here. At that game, not able to quite connect with that JP, but 2S is going to chase the backdash. The flex shield is getting a little bit of space now from Brian, but the anti-air Fujin going in. They're not going to come out through here again. Gold Burst answering back. Both these players here on super low life. One good hit is all you need to take it from either side. Not going to connect with that Nagi Hello. Keep sequence going here. Brian fighting out. Not quite having access to that Eddie meter quite yet. We are back now, and Tank Eddie just came up in time. MacMens tried to send it with the JS. Not able to find it. Only met with a puddle of the void. And Brian is now up 2-1. But that was such a close back and forth.
Yeah, MacMens was doing a great job of trying to take advantage of the fact that Eddie wasn't there anymore, but to compliment Brian right after, was ready as soon as it came back with that oppose, like you said, Ganion. So Brian looking so strong here with that game lead, but these rounds are going down to the wire. No way! No, the dust again, dude. Brian is crazy out here. MacMen's got to punish them for that one. Going to be able to block it out in the corner here for a moment. This time blocking out that low and gets that 2P to fight out of the corner.
Brian now gonna have to guess right a few times to keep ourselves in this round. Good stuff, blocking out that overhead, able to punish out. Immediate burst from MacMens. Not able to get the combo, continue to go, but a bit of a trade kind of going in the favor of Brian to get some space back here, but MacMens back on top of them. Cover out, get that Nagiha into the low. Finish Pooch be more than enough. Eddie definitely not, taking enough to help Zato through that one here. MacMens potentially could find us, taking us to a game 5. Maybe kind of getting the read that the longer we keep Brian up, the better chance I have of winning. He's sleepy, trying to get that fresh night's rest before another day on the grind tomorrow here. But a good empty reset there into that command grab. Get that full Eddie gauge back here again. Just facing with the far slash. Keeps on going again. Fraud, keep ourselves in the sequence here. Sends out the sword super one more time. Blocking out the hit. Good block on that 5 overhead. But another command throw to come in here. One more Eddie set. Are you ready to guess again? Overhead's coming through, but no confirm. But the 5D got me a perfect for Brian, who's now on set point.
And that auto pressure never ends when you're on top of it, someone like Brian, man. When he's got enhanced Nagiha, the burst getting spent. Does not want to have our back to the wall. And in fact, we're going to be chasing it down here with this Eddie, spending out that Eddie meter. Now fully gone. A good clip there from that 2P. MacMen's going to be able to try to spin in here. Brian with a good 2S punish has been on top of that one. Jason MacMens down the corner. The spin to come through, the PRC to keep it safe. No cancel there for MacMens to play it well here. But the JP keeping us in the corner. Good block on that 5D.
Good routing, gets that canceled to the 2H. Not able to keep the route going though, unfortunately, but Brian at least puts away to this corner. Definitely where MacMens is looking to keep the stuck out. Wire seat at least stop that Zato Eddie sandwich mix again, but tried to press there a little bit too late. The frame trap was ready, and MacMens says, hold on. Let me tuck you in here real quick. 2-2 apiece between the incredible competitors right now. Going the absolute. We've had so many. We've had no 3-0s in tonight's top 8, which is pretty hype to see. Bunch of 3-2s again. The caliber of players have made it to this point. Jake said it earlier. Might be some of the worst Guilty Gear we're saying, but at least we're seeing some close-ass Guilty Gear, and you love to see it.
For sure, bro. I gotta say, MacMen's doing a great job trying to calm down tskrBrian out here, who is an amazingly strong player when he is having fun out here. He's like a rowdy kid on a school night. MacMen's just gotta get him tucked in and get him to bed. It's past his bedtime out here. Good pick up here with that Fujin in the air. Catching your backdash for close slash. Brian getting a little antsy here on this defense, trying to keep this lead. Dude, these 5Ds are just... MacMens is so good at blocking.
Getting absolutely at the ready. Here's his back down, trying to interact with that spin that we swung into. Not pressing this time on the 2H. Brian learning their... I would say it was just learning their lesson, and unfortunately, the sequence out there again. Tries to get the gut enough to do it there. Great recognition from MacMens to spend the extra 50 and get the couple extra hits there to crush out those guts again, but that more of that kind of soft knockdown here. Pressure there, chase out to the sky with that JP. The combo still going. Dang, dude, Brian is so sick with these confirms.
Definitely very comfortable with this Zato 1. MacMens. I mean, talking about blocking overheads, man, Brian definitely not free to that overhead follow-up and doing a good job of trying to keep back that Anji. Good job spinning through these Eddie commands. Nice back throw on that setup attempt from Brian. MacMen's looking very strong here, using that 100 meter to try to get a mix-up, but Brian wise to that one. Doesn't get opened up at all. That was actually kind of crazy.
Try to get a JH to back up the way in, but Brian was ready. Good fuzzy 5P to at least kind of calm him back. Arts to keep the sequence going again. 5Ds. He's going to connect. A good reset here to keep this Anji locked in this corner. Blocking out the multiple overheads, looking really impressive here. MacMen's fight out, defense at the ready. Brian low on the hell. We were ready to bait out that YRC. First had to be spent then. At least Eddie has been taken out along the way, but Brian just all off just enough to do it. MacMen's pushing up to the corner, but 2P counter hit again. But the frog takes from the sky, puts it back to the corner. Command grab coming in here. Cancels out into the RC. Will MacMen spend it? They do not. Seconds are going off the clock. 14, 13 remain, ticking down. Will it be? But the frog chases it out, and we are getting another final round of our game 5 here. With a big burst advantage here for MacMens.
Yeah, definitely a silver lining. It's having that burst in your back pocket still. Brian getting caught here in the air, trying to do that super jump out. But MacMen's privy to it here in game 5. Oh my god, we're blocking this? My god! And ready with the YRC as well to keep Zato in the corner. Trying to press out, but the burst gets spent. Great tech.
That fish there actually tried to clip out. Eddie on the way in. Still go either way. Definitely not over quite yet, but a good 2P stops the Eddie on the way and gets to get that knockdown off that 2K2D. Another throw tech. Either these players following for the throws your time. MacMen sends themselves in. Enough to at least trade with the Eddie. Definitely a pretty good trade, if I say so myself. The delayed low, gonna clip Brian. Spin out that burst, be able to answer back. Eddie kind of hanging out there, just kind of see what MacMen's going to do on the way in. But an IED into the landing 2P, be able to at least get the sequence stopped. Chase to the skies with a JP. I thought it was a fuss up there, but MacMen's a simple spin. Chase to the heavens there, taking the side quest there, or donate a couple extra bucks there to sweeten this pot for the sweet guilty gear we've seen so far tonight. And Kensei off to an incredibly good start, getting a counter hit, far slash to get ourselves going there. Good stall, following with that JD, keeping Astral in this corner. Good dash blocking, at least so far, gets stuff a little bit closer. And there is that spin, working through that fireball game. And I love this far slash into far slash, catching out the recovery there of that spin. Way through. Gosh, remember when Fish used to be plus? Exactly, we played in a version of that. Anji, definitely a character who is no slouch to having strong tools, but nothing stronger than the run-up throw, the Kai classic with the tap 5D into the RC. Great routing from Kensei, putting that first round on the board.
Nice stuff out here, man. Kensei waiting very patiently for this moment out here to fight up against Astral. Of course, Astral making a loser's run, while Kensei trying to make that redemption, that comeback, to get that run back up on that winner side when we get there. If we get there, Astral may try to keep you down with this fast RC2H combo. Nice stuff. Goes for this projectile pressure in the corner. Kensei going to be able to DP through, and then DP again, do that follow-up of spin, trying to chase Astral down here.
Again, get that fan toss to keep that sequence going. Chasing out the JS, gonna clip Anji for their troubles. Hitting through again. Tries 6 speed through the fireball. There's 6 speed to phase. Stop out that far side coming through. That retreating JS gonna do a lot of work. Great job of the Nagiha low. Getting that round, answering back here. Astral absolutely swinging in return. We got a round apiece as we go through. Here again, get that knockdown. Keep that pressure going. Good around to the strike throw. Kensei not ready for that coming through, but the tap 5D. We said, I got it too, dang it.
Oh, I like that 6P right there. Trying to get through that projectile, but Kensei going to smite you down with it. Knocking you down with this stun dipper follow-up as well. Astral sent through. Has the burst to fight with on some sides. About to get 50 tension as well. Kensei building up that meter, spending some of it right now for that PRC to stay safe. Good mash by Astral to get a counter hit here. And a whip punish on that far slash.
Oh my gosh, but just that light stagger into the close slash. Big chunk of damage there. Get a little Fujin carry canceled into that super. Not going to be enough to quite kill there. Scaling working a little bit against with that RC need to be spent earlier. Try to space out that Fujin to see if we had a potential follow-up there. And just barely clips that those active frames of the far slash with that 6B. Good stuff to Astral. Finding the right spots to press that incredibly strong 6P button there. Stuffing Kensei's attempt at poking out with the far slash. One game to move forward in this loser side of top 8 here, but we'll see if Kensei can answer back.
Yeah, you see what Astral is respecting about this matchup, or at least what Astral is looking out for. When Kensei is in that mid-screen distance, you see Astral's very preemptive with those 6Ps, and it immediately clicked right there if you weren't paying attention, being able to take out that far slash there. Astral definitely... Oh my god, Astral on top of it. You can see what they value in terms of trying to be preemptive. Kensei trying to get out of this corner. Oh my god, Ashley was able to air dash and then keep the combo going. Astral had to spend the burst.
There's the Anji 2D, able to low profile underneath those mid-height fireballs that are coming through here, chasing out any upside potential. Good cancel, gets the enhanced rinse. You can spend RC meter to get a follow-up to keep that combo switch going here. Try to get a 6P, but Kensei actually throws it. I start with a 2P, answering out, gonna spend out again. Keep the combo routing going. A little bit scaled, but able to at least get the route to stick in the wall. That's what mattered. Good stuff to Astral, putting another round in their favor. See if they keep the sequence going here to get that knockdown. Kensei gonna actually burst. I want to get Astral, get a potential knockdown there. Definitely curious to see if people start adjusting their bursts more if you get something spun right now in this version, considering that Anji doesn't really do a lot of damage on the follow-ups most of the time.
Keep that spin up. Kensei calling out hard with that throw. 5D is the mix again. Astral holding on to that burst. Feeling pretty safe through this first wall break, but you can't take too many more risks here. I gotta give it to Astral, man. Now, we did just lose that round, but I love the confidence to hold that W key, to be going forward and trying to represent those dash blocks when we can, and also those preemptive 6Ps. Oh my god, there it is again. But Kensei doing a great job of calling you out. Astral spends the burst.
Oh, but a close slash anti-air. Wait a second. Right here, Daisuke, I found him. But that was a fairly low close slash one, so that one's definitely gonna be okay there. Great chase, catching out the backdash. This close slash doing everything for Kensei in this round and being rewarded with a perfect and one apiece there for Kensei. And there, so thanks to Triple 3 Cubed as well for that $6.94 donation. Appreciate you sweetening the pot up for these players. We're at 40 bucks right now. I'm sure all of these folks who are going to be in those top 3 spots appreciate a little bit of extra change in their pockets. Thank you so much again for supporting not only Paragon, but these wonderful, wonderful players. As we get into our game 3 here, Kensei versus Astral. Seeing players trade off a game so early lets you know the set should be able to hopefully go the distance, go back and forth. A bit of trades as we go through to it there, but let's see if Kensei can find what they need to maintain the momentum right now. Astral will answer back right away, and so far getting the burst out of your opponent, pretty good spot to be in.
Getting a punish here as well. Kensei showing you that strong 2P as well here from Kai. The Dire Cloud actually getting spaced out there. Good FDs there from Astral, and a whiff punish there with the 2S. Some strong play, some normals getting thrown out. But Kensei is the one coming out on top as we're sending you through here. Astral could still potentially spend burst here. I mean, you're not that far behind. In fact, a good clap back here as you're building up the tension. Good stuff taking Kensei down to the other side.
Astral kind of navigating around this fireball game plan with spinning for your troubles right into the arms of Kensei. Get thrown here, push it through the wall, one more HTP, not enough to quite kill. 100 meter on the side of Anji, and that goes and BRCs forward into the parry to hit out that, but that's all of the meter gone. Astral tries to chase it to the skies with a hard call out with the Ko, but Kensei waiting there to hit the 6B on that landing here. Goes up from Astral to the attempt. It's been through no fall coming in. Trades up with the 6B on the falling, actually. Oh no, full pick up there with the Nagi Hello, but keeping Kensei stuck down in this corner.
Ooh, trying to far slash through. Astral getting clipped though. Kensei being so active to combat this preemptiveness. Pulling up with this far slash, that projectile. Man, the dash blocks from Astral are low-key scary, bro. I'm not even playing the game right now. Burst keeping it back. Kensei having this HP lead. Astral trying to get something started with this 6P and with this Fujin.
Martha's in the clip right now. Great routing. Kensei running such strong of this mid-range pressure, keeping Astral absolutely held out with these far slashes. And even when Astral finds these spots to spin through, Kensei not kind of like overcommitting any follow-ups then, seeing if they can at least answer back, press a different button, hell, even cancel out with an RC and see what the follow-up could potentially be. So great stuff, Kensei. Just looking calm and collected against a character that you definitely don't want to mess up against, as the Fujin dispenser can absolutely go crazy. But once again, let's see if Astral can put a game up themselves. Gets to another game 5 here. or will Kensei be able to potentially take this game? Delay watching more of the boys and I believe Whatnot Sellers. So we'll have to see if the follow-ups will have to wait as we go through. But right now, I mean, Astral stuck in this corner. The dash block attempt, but a good 2S to stop that dash block attempt here. Good 5P press from Astral, getting so much corner carry. Having Kensei stuck in this corner now, but there is that delayed JS going so far here, working so well for what Astral is trying to represent.
Nice punish here from Astral. Man, this 6P has been so powerful, bro. I'm getting flashbacks to Pip earlier on the ladder. If you know, you know. Kensei going to be sent through here. Astral going to be able to scoot forward and spend 50 for this hard knockdown. And in a great spot to do so, right? Because even though you get this meter penalty, you still got 50 in your back pocket for mix. But Kensei, hold that one, spends the DP.
Good cancel there, gets the 6P. QK pickup there for the route. Able to get a full second to the wall. Pretty hard to get a pickup beyond that without a little bit of meter behind it. And tries to hit Kensei with the I think you're good mix up there for the overhead and the quick low. Not going to quite bite, but still finds the hit. Astral getting around here in this game 4, trying to bring us to a game 5, but another burst on that correct spin. Not going to quite connect with another one. QP to be able to fight out here again. Ooh, whiffs out the throw, but no punish here from Kensei. Shock stay back on one more time again, but ooh, it faces out with a good dire clap. Big counter hit pickup here again. Sick routing from Kensei to put a big chunk of damage through Astral. Hard knockdown as well behind it and in the shock state.
PRC to keep your pressure up here. Kensei with the up forward. Now that was brave. Hard call out right there from Kensei to get out of that pressure. Astral trying to spin through as a reversal. These projectiles trying to keep you back. Astral with a great 2P. Once we get in with that dash block we've been representing, Kensei still trying to keep you back even with our back against the wall. The Nagia connects and Astral keeps this Kensei down.
Back definitely works out of that Anji kind of delayed falling sequence. Usually able to kind of help, let them see and potentially call out any of these defensive options in the corner, but is able to fight their way out, at least keep this close, potentially move through on their set point. But the burst being spent by Astral, keeping Kensei in this corner. Big chunk of chip damage coming through on that Fujin. That's a big old chunk. Going ahead and cancel out the RC after the stun dipper. Trying to see if we can get potentially Astral pressing any buttons on these fuzzy options here again. Counter coming through, ready to commit to the fireball though, so no full pickup here. But having the state still active, gonna allow us towards the air. Sends out the butterfly, not able to quite do it. Not sure what we were looking for in that sequence, but Kensei keeps it solid, puts Astral into the dirt and takes it 3-1.
Nice stuff there from Lesson. We got through that one. It's actually FishyFishy out here on the Potemkin. Looking strong out here at the start.
There you go. Good hit there. Oh my gosh, that mix being able to float back there after that dolphin cancel with falling heavy here. Insert off to an incredibly quick start here. 15 seconds off the clock and almost a dead Potemkin with no meter spent yet. Definitely what you want to be seeing if you are an insert fan. A good mix, gets that quick cancel into that 5D RC, gets the full pickup then, and the round is yours. Insert looking hot already.
Oh, was not able to get that throw. Looked like we were inside the model. But was able to bait out the burst with that red RC insert with a very strong start to this set so far. We need one more combo to close it out against this Potemkin.
And throwing Hammerfall is a great way to start. Insert, you know, throwing us a relic of the past, the old throw RC, essentially a thing you shouldn't be doing if you're worried about whiffing that in this version. So don't think it really has as much merit as it once did, but hey, still got what they were looking for, still got a game on the board, an incredibly quick game on top of that too. So curious to see if Fishy here is still feeling this Potemkin, or if we are going back to tried and true Eno. Potemkin it is. We are locking in at least one more Potemkin going through here. Not to say if we get the right hit, definitely is very doable then, but Insert has been navigating so well around these potential options from Potemkin. Fishy hasn't even really got started yet.
Nice stuff out here. Very patient. Oh my god. Insert getting in your head there with that first throw. Follows up with the second one. Big shout outs to Kensei Esports with a fat raid. You guys are here just in time. We're in winners finals top 4 of this Guilty Gear Strive ParagOnline bracket. Insert one of the best Mays, the best May question mark in North America. Going to be coming up against FishyFishy, not Busta Rhymes. Try to keep up. Nice job. Tried to go for the 5P safe jab, but Insert going to be able to have reversal right through.
Yeah, I like the attempt there. Potemkin having access to a safe jab then, but timing going to be very specific. So when you get caught out there, Insert pressure looking so strong. I like the attempt there, but yeah, put something in that corner would have been pretty spooky, even if you were right, because being burst in the corner, pretty bad spot to be in. Late in the overhead. Fishy, another burst, not finding its mark. And you're definitely not dead going through this wall, but not a lot of life to work with, and just 50 meter behind it. But a hammerful RC go place to get started, get that hard knockdown here. The jab out here attempt again, had to go for a big read and a good chunk of damage, and Insert was smelling what you were cooking. Could not quite connect it, and Fishy down now 0-2. If they pick the Potemkin, it'll have to be that for all 3. If you bring in the E-Note, it'll have to be that for all 3 to do it. And we are staying on this Potemkin pick. We believe in this secondary to fight a character as spooky as May. Let's see if Fishy can dive deep, or if it's going to be an Insert sweep.
That 2P keeping you back, the 6H as well. Fishy able to pull up afterwards with that hammerfall. Great play. And a great anti-air as well. Insert not going to be able to get away with anything for free out here. Of course, with a very strong 2-game lead, this is the FishyFishy that was able to take out MacMens to be in this spot in the first place on Potemkin. Trying to go for another 5P safe jab here, but the timing a little weird or something like that. Insert able to reversal through again.
Oh, good mix there on the falling G2H off that corner steal. Not stuck in this corner, the free space to be in. FD pushing us out. The 5D not be able to connect. We block out the 5D again. Insert absolutely ready. Not a lot of health to work with then, but Fishy on the defense. You have to guess right. Able to do so far here. FD's out. Not get hit by there, but actually gets over the slide head off the back of Mr. Dolphin. And that round puts Insert on set point. One more will have them in the winner's side of Grands here. Back of a deflect shield to go push to start them, but the flick actually stopping the Dolphin on the way in.
Insert taking that one on the chin. Gonna get you in this Dolphin bunker. Oh my god, dude, that's crazy that you're able to get like the 5P link after and still get the wall break. Great play there from Insert. The confident /red RC to keep the damage up. Trying to bait out that burst. Fishy not taking the bait. An amazing back throw to try to turn things around.
Again, Garuda coming in, but YRC to at least get this Potemkin off of us. Not a lot of health to work with. Tries to go for an extra layer of mix. Gets gold bursted for their troubles, but put out of the corner at least. Send him to the heavens. Heavenly Potemkin buster coming in. Might be enough to just kill with despite the scaling. Oh, not enough there. May built like the anchor she's wielding, but gets the meaty pop buster. The answer here, FishyFishy hanging on by a thread as we go into our 3rd round here of this game 3. Good whip punish on that 6H with the Dolphin. Push this sequence here again. Back hits from this Dolphin routing. Gets the wall clip as well off that IAD. We can wall stick off it too. This character is absolutely insane, and Insert is showing you why.
Oh, great red RC through the armor. Fishy, oh my god, actually getting a burst that cornered Insert, but despite that, was able to use that BRC route to still close things out 3-0, despite that jump. MacMens having a lot of experience against Kai in NDVA, of course, being able to fight it out against Light Ice. So we'll see what Kensei has in store in terms of our Anji practice. Of course, just had a very good set against Astral earlier. Gonna see if we can't keep it up here.
So far, looking pretty alright. At least the health lead going for Kensei, but had to spend all that burst already. But good 5P anti here, and I able to get any further pickup then. Good dash block here from MacMens, but a great fuzzy 2P fighting out from that empty gap there in Kensei's pressure. A good JS overhead. Keeps JD going with that shock state. Immediate burst being act from MacMens, but actually ends up hitting out the startup of the 5H with the far slash. Great placement here so far by Kensei. Now he's putting MacMens through this wall. Not to be able to kill then, even with the HCP just a hair remaining. Anji never dies no matter what version of Strive we're playing here. But good stuff to Kensei, keeping it through and getting that first round.
Getting IBFD back. Good defense there from Mac. Oh my god, also able to get this whole pickup after that air hit Fujin. Kensei unfortunately getting counter hit there, trying to press out of that corner. Another counter hit. MacMens taking advantage of that timing from Kensei and turning into a lot of damage here and a positive bonus, but Kensei with a very impressive walk up 2P. Very confidently trying to fight back here. And now we're looking good, trying to keep this pressure going. Both players getting some counter hits as MacMens going to get bursted back here. Kensei doesn't want to give away too much of a comeback here. That being said, Mac unfortunately couldn't get that link there with the 5K with some good just blocks though. He's going to keep this guy in the corner. I'm telling y'all, Mac does have that Kai experience. I mean, you got to at this point. You've been playing the game for 5 years, huh? PRC to keep yourself safe. Fully charged Fujin to catch you with Nagia after. MacMens evens up the rounds.
So round apiece for both these competitors. Best to be able to move forward here. They are at top 4. One more will put you in the money at least. This basically here. Oh, actually throws out the attempt. Kensei trying to move forward, not able to quite connect it. 2H then a bit of a fuzzy jump then, did not take any further pressure from it, but a good far slash placement. Let's get that knockdown that we're looking for. Well, IBFD gets a bit of spacing here. Good, just gets out of the range of that far slash. Anji far slash is a little bit more range than what Kai has, despite the reward difference being pretty heavy here. Kensei stuck in this corner right now. So Weeb runs up to the throw, actually gonna whiff. Force out that burst immediately from Kensei.
Ooh, nice job with that run up 5K here from Mac. Going to be able to convert off of that projectile with his 2P also. Wanted to keep that combo going, of course, but the PRC does catch. Kensei not close enough to the corner to get the wall bounce combo for Mac. At this point, a trade hit would be a win for Anji. Jumping over that heavy stun edge. MacMen's going to be able to get this first round on the board.
Yeah, and despite we getting around there, it just kind of shows a bit of like a reward difference on this character's being able to press, right? Like, you know, it's one thing to press and know you're right, but when you're kind of feeling out what your opponent's options may be, you know, Anji being a little bit tankier in the category of kind of being wrong at least a time or more than Kai will have access to. So let's kind of see how Kensei can adjust going into this second game. So MacMen just looking like they're steering the ship pretty darn correctly, putting those right placements in, getting the knockdowns we're looking for, and then having to make Kensei guess. And you know, we're not seeing a lot of DP out of Kensei, seemingly, you know, whether it's so their opponents are running some pretty strong pressure to bait out, maybe whether it's from a safe jump or even just running this really good stagger pressure. We'll have to see. Nothing quite connecting there, but these IBFDs from MacMens have been providing so much value in this set. Another one coming out here again.
Ooh, great tech there. Kensei with a very confident run-up throw. MacMens privy to that one. Holding on to this burst, Kensei spending that tension. It's a good resource trade there from MacMens. Gets a pickup afterwards as well. Unfortunately, was too meaty on that 2H. Kensei was able to wake up into it and get that far slash whiff punish. But MacMen still holding forward, getting these instant air dashes in. Kensei spending a lot of time in the corner in this round. MacMen's catching with another punish, canceling immediately in the super. Great hit confirm to get this first round of game 2.
Love that 100-meter dump that Anji can do. A couple extra moves while the super fans just keep on spinning. Good 5K placement. They're going to get that hard knockdown. Working pressure going here. Bunch of these stagger 2Ks coming in, but good fight out with that 2S from Kensei. Not going to get a connect there off that Fruger arc, but burst coming out right now. Not going to get any of the knockdown looking for, but be able to get that Nagiha cancel clip startup of that H fireball. MacMen's going to put you through this wall again. Get that positive bonus rolling. The meter coming in very quickly as well for that burst meter. Anji with 50, definitely able to keep any of these hits into a much stronger reward. No connection quite there, but Goopy gonna fight our turn back. But the IAD JSs have been so ready for MacMens, already up 2-0 in the set. One more, give them the opportunity to take on FishyFishy, but we'll have to see here if Kensei can go a little Ultra Instinct, a little bit Super Saiyan to take it from a reverse sweep. We need 3 games in a row to do it, and MacMen is definitely a formidable opponent to make that happen.
I mean, Kensei no slouch. Definitely got the skills to pay the bills. But MacMen's definitely on a hot losers run right now. Trying to make our way back up to get that run back potentially. Kensei just being forced through this Anji gauntlet. Was able to do it once, but can he do it again as we're going to this game 3? MacMen's with a great lead out here. Wants to keep this run going. Very patient on the round start.
Absolutely. First gets done by Kensei again, and Kensei has not been able to quite get the the first burst of these rounds a lot of times, and MacMen's found what they're looking for. Spends out the PRC just to keep that Fujin safe and punish the falling button from Kensei, but these chunks here coming through, trying to find a good far just to connect. Gonna get at least the burst out of MacMen's, and that run up throw being at least teched out so far here. Gonna actually punish out that 5H attempt, not able to connect, but the SDP gonna be able to at least stop that 2H approach from MacMen's. Kensei trying to play more of this mid-range plan right now. A little bit on the close side here of MacMen's. Tries to send it out with another cancel. No punish gonna quite come out there, and a simple close slash hits the far slash startup here. A great route from Kensei will surely net them this round, and Kensei still keeping it alive here in this loser semifinals. They're getting that first round.
Nice stuff here with these K normal. But the close slash catching Kensei pushed back into this corner. Good 2P match there from Mac. A lot of counter hits coming out. Kensei taking advantage of that burst to keep you in the corner. And shimmings the throw. MacMen's answers back with their own burst.
Go again, spacing looking so immaculate. But this JS has done so much for Kensei in so many of their matches tonight. Their IBF getting a little bit of space then from this pressure here, but Kensei looking so strong here in this game 3, fighting like they want to make the run back to be able to get to that 3rd spot. Good cancel into the RC HDP to stick to the wall and puts it through. No 3-0 for MacMen's here. Kensei's got 1 on the board.
Nice stuff out here from Kensei, man. We're talking about it in the chat. Apparently, he doesn't have his color buff out here. The what is it? The Soul pre-order color. So we got to rock the David instead. But Kensei looking good, despite that. Able to get a game here on the board. No slouch out here. Kensei, one of the best out here on the sky. But MacMen's no slouch either. Already having that lead. Going to see if we can't turn that momentum back into our favor. Keep it going. Both players showing us that far slash. Kensei going to spend that burst.
Another burst being spent first here by Kensei. But at least when they have to reset that point, like a lot of these spacings feel so right for what Kensei is looking to do. Fishing out with these bar slashes. Able to quite fully connect and good block on that low. But a good fight back from MacMen so far. Chasing out here again. Good 5K usage. Just trying to chase any of these up tech options here. Just through the wall. Not going to quite clip into the glass. One more hit would have potentially able to do it. The spin doing so much value here for Anji in this matchup. Shocksei applied though. Definitely where you want to be if you're Kensei to get that hard knockdown here. But an IB can stop Kensei in there. The point, but a good delay, just a simple empty spin into the 5P anti-air. MacMen's keeping Kensei locked down in this corner here. One more hit can potentially do it, and the 5D RC is a great place to start. MacMen's now at set point here again. We'll have to see if Kensei can dive deep and figure out what they need to do. Stop pressure going here, having access to burst. That's a good spot to be in. I've already having to be spent.
Trying to get a stray hit here on MacMen's approach. But now stuck in this Fujin Tsukiyomi. There's that Fujin no cancel twice in a row. Kensei getting caught with close slash. I think that actually caught our landing for it to be a punish like that. MacMens with some great timing. Only needs one more combo to close this out potentially. And there it is, the red RC. No, unfortunate. Didn't keep it going.
Yeah, MacMens looking for that close slash dance cancel and unfortunately missed out on the input. But honestly, would have been rough to actually get a kill from there. Deflectional being spent by Kensei. All of the meter is gone at this point, but at least we're able to find a counter hit far slash to keep our sequence going. 50 in the chamber as well. But we see a DI in to win. No, keeps out that meter to keep that sliding low safe. Whiffs out on the dire clap, and not much more to work with. One more hit from MacMens could definitely do it, but a good DP at least stops Kensei for their troubles, but simply delaying the IAD with a J8.
Finals against FishyFishy.
There we go. Let's see if the Sinathan can do it. So far, off to a great pressure, then already has Fishy pushed all the way to this corner here, and a 6H counter hit. Big hit to get ourselves started then. Love actually get a bit of a side switch routing there too, but would have been empty into that Garuda and hit by the far slash startup here. Gets himself out of that corner. Definitely worth sequence here. Fishy trying to at least answer back, but gets clipped by that 2S counter hit. Blocking down the overhead. That actually whiffs out a JH for the falling here, but so far a bit of scrambling back and forth, a lot of single hits into not much more. You kind of almost tell the players are playing maybe on their secondaries, but you can understand where it's like a bit of a strong mismatch between their mains that, you know, this is definitely the gear we are going to be seeing as we go forward here. But a good chase, get that heat come through. RC cancel comes in again. YRC to get off me here. Not able to fully connect and not spending out that stamina. Actually doesn't really be able to cancel it, but Fishy not gonna sit down in this corner. And if that isn't footsies for a grappler, I don't know what is.
Yeah, for a grappler with a full string 6H, by the way. But hey, I mean, guys, I love Guilty Gear. MacMens pulling up right now. Going to be able to get a whiff punish there on that heat tackle. Fishy just wanted to get out of the corner, but put right back onto the other side. Nice 2D countering here. Mac having full resources outside of that stamina depletion. Fishy walking it down here with these knockdowns and Garudas. Try to go for the safe jab, but MacMens able to DP through, and the Hammerfall red RC gets answered by Burst.
First, a couple 2P checks to see if we can catch MacMens on the way in. Tries a 6P for their troubles, but Fishy's button was already a little too active before it was able to connect. FishyFishy getting the first game on the board. Saying Buster Rhymes 3 times in the mirror to get that power up. Let's see here if MacMens can fight back, do it with the Sin. You definitely saw it. The Anji definitely wasn't able to take care of this character, so they'll have to be on this secondary. And we'll have to see if MacMens can push the distance, do what they need to do. Be able to get a game up on the board to answer back. It was a close 3-2 in Fishy's favor the first time these two met. Let's see if we can get a game 5 here as well. It's going to be a hashtag Fishy sweep. Let us know in chat what y'all are feeling then. Do you think it's Buster Rhymes? Do you think it's MacMens Sin arc? Let us know.
I mean, yeah, if you want to ignore the Anji games, they're actually 2-2 right now, so everything's been pretty even. It's either player set if you want to think about it like that. The red RC after hoof stomp. Fishy answers with the burst. Good jump over that slide head and a nice whiff punish out here. Those normals are full screen, but Mac with some great spacing able to get those whiff punishes regardless. Fishy trying to safe jab you with that 5P, trying to respect those reversals. Mac spending our own burst back.
Absolutely here. Great routing again. Up RC to keep the combo going. Not able to get the wall stick. Another Hammerfall going to get into that RC. Knockdown coming through again. Gets that meaty 5P. Not able to get much of a reward off it though, but tries to hold a bit of space. Gets the Mega Fist forward. Actually goes over Flying Elf, but this time another one was at the ready. Oh, it does not get the route to actually connect as we're looking for. It's not able to get the kill. It's be so spooky. 2D gets started. No RC to keep the combo going. And we had threw caution to the wind and just said, if you bait it, bud, you got it. MacMens sends up the DP, answering out in this round here in game 2. Set up the overhead right now. Again, another overhead. The overheads are going crazy right now.
Ooh, and there's that shimmy throw again, or throw bait, I should say. MacMens was getting a lot of mileage out of that in the previous set. Fishy loves that 2D, bro, trying to show you how good it is.
love that there. Just landed into that Garuda and catch the MacMens on a backdash attempt here. Another one coming through. A big health advantage going in the favor of MacMens then. Another Hammerfall fighting through this sequence again. Crush coming through, this time blocking out on the IED back attempt here. Another IED back attempt, this time meeting the Gold Burst. Try to send out the footsies button, the 6H of the full screen gods. Oh, and I love that. It's definitely going to kill now. Actually, not quite. The PRC actually still ends up being active then. Quite surprised it was not able enough to do it. I thought the cancel off cancel there, but I think the PRC still active there after that fast cancel window. Are you going to catch the startup here again? We want this round, though. MacMens spending the burst. You better be right, and damn right were they. One apiece. MacMens keeping this set close here in our losers finals. Now sitting at a first to two, best of three now with a game apiece on the board. Love that these players can absolutely trade blows here on these secondaries again. Buster Rhymes, actual Buster Rhymes chatting in the chat here, trying to give FishyFishy the last bit of power up they need to potentially take this run back and go into the follow-up then with insert here, but MacMens something to say about that.
We'll see, man. Nice job, Fishy. Keeping it down with this 2D, using those full screen normals that 6H keep you back as well. Can dash in on that flick when Fishy's preemptive about it at least, but good. Jump in right there on the slide head. MacMens has been pretty good about calling those out with air dashes. BRC 5D lets you get the conversion after and a full E as well. Fishy feeling confident on the wake up, getting counter hit in fact. MacMens with so many counters, so many punishes. Another one coming out here as we cancel into the super with the Kara. Great job, MacMens.
Different devs coming in here again, but we're going to the heaven, try to cut our way out, but a 6P gonna stop MacMens on the way in. E5P keeps the pressure going. We are ready with the Pot Buster. Good chunk of damage immediately into the Heat Knuckle, put you through this wall. Be more than enough to kill FishyFishy on a little bit of life and a dream, able to take that round. And I love that FRC after they got the hit they were looking for into that knuckle immediately, not giving MacMens even a chance to burst there. 2D here. See MacMens stuck in this corner again. You have to fight back as best they can, but the spacing is so tough here. What are you able to press? But hey, a sliding low is a good place to start, especially after that new nerfed Hammerfall break. Now losing to lows in this version.
Using that Hammerfall Red RC Garuda, MacMens calling it out with just spending that burst. RC combo here to send Fishy through. Fishy being very patient with those with the meter on the side. MacMens trying to get some Hail Mary beat driver hits. Does get a pull up here. The hoof stomp has had a lot of mileage. Fishy holding on to that burst, not taking any bait here. Mac trying to get this 2S, but the burst does get spent. Fishy feeling like a hero with this 100-meter, but the jump in again. MacMens has been so good with those air dashes.
They're barely able to get that to actually connect and combo after, so definitely for MacMens, they're able to at least finish off that round. We have a round apiece, game 3, about as close as you can absolutely make it, but MacMens off to the races right now. An ID back JH gonna push you through this wall here. No stamina then after going back to this neutral. Gotta be a little bit careful how we choose to approach. Face out on the 6H here. The flex shield stopping off the Sin sequence. Fence out all this meter. Just keep Fishy stuck in this corner. Not a lot of life to work with them, but almost has access to 50. Here you see how to be sent out here again. The FRC into that Garuda. Deflect shield, get a bit of space after then, but the far slash stops out on that Garuda. Empty here attempt. Butt slam coming in, but good space by MacMens. No stamina to cancel on any of the follow-ups here. Big advantage for MacMens, but still has to get one more hit. Is able to find it and moves into the lead of this losers final set. Up 2-1 right now. We'll have to see if FishyFishy can lean on this Potemkin pick and take out this behemoth. What MacMens has been doing just feels so controlled in this mid-range with Sin just poking out and not letting FishyFishy start up any of their pressure sequences. Also, Fishy kind of missing out on some of these like space Garudas. Got clipped a few times by the DP.
Yeah, MacMens has definitely been finding a lot of ways to try to fight back against that Hammerfall Red RC Garuda that Fishy has been, you know, getting away with. I'm going to give it a buck. There's that safe jab. We've been missing a couple in the past couple sets, but it's paying off out here. We're taking MacMens down the screen. Now MacMen's going to start thinking twice about that DP through. Mega Fist forward getting punished here.
Throw here again. Fishy stuck in this corner. Had to find out a little bit naturally. 2K going to get clipped there by the overhead follow-up. Burst answering back from MacMens. Feeling like they want to at least get Fishy to spend the burst themselves. Not coming out quite yet. 5D, but no meter behind it with the RC. Breaking here with the beak. 50 on both sides. BRC forward. Good chasing on the back dash with that 2D. Space it out. We were ready for the DP that time. Mac was getting a little too happy with that reversal. And a great pop buster choice for that optimal punish. Good chunk of damage here. Going up in that first round of Game 4. FishyFishy trying to do their best to bring us to that Game 5.
Wide head getting blocked out here. Fishy gonna get a nice jump in here as well. Keep him back in the corner. The FD to try to push back this Potemkin when we can. Nice spend of that deflect shield to get this pressure started. BRC not opening up this Potemkin here, but Fishy does get frame trap there on the beat driver. Good backdash to get a back throw incident. MacMens trying to get out of this corner, is able to fuzzy jump that first 5D. The second whiffing out here. Oh my god, Fishy just, that's not full screen, homie. I don't know if you know. Nice counter hit out here, Mac.
You know what? If it ain't getting punished and you're enjoying yourself, who's to say you're playing the neutral and corrector there? Fishy trying their best, put out a wall of these 5Ds, but MacMens not having any of that. Fishy to this corner. A couple more hits here will let Fishy at least get this game back in there. Gets the RC to pick it up and keep it going. 6H to seal it out. And we are getting our Game 5 here in Losers Finals. A battle of secondaries, but two incredibly talented players here up on this stand trying to do their best, and the winner of this gets rewarded with fighting the May God themselves there in insert. And we'll have to see which of these two does MacMen do the audible right at the end, or do we truly believe in this sin? Nagoriyuki, okay.
All right, well, MacMen's going to be pulling out the first to one Nago out here against FishyFishy. I feel like I never see this color, by the way. So here we go. MacMen's going to be pulling it out. Already strong, starting strong with that counter hit 2S. Fishy trying to FDU back, counter hitting with another 5H out here. Mac walking this Potemkin down.
Just kind of now pushed away to this corner air. Blood is being built up slowly here from MacMen, trying to get that sweet spot. Good air throw. Not a chunk of damage that I've done so much in the previous version. We got our blood so close to that level 3. We are in the sweet spot right now. A good slide head, at least on that 6H. Or here again. The back just getting caught. No full combo off. I just got the RC quite at the end. 6H coming through here. The 5Hs are being pressed. We are jumping for the best of it there, but a butt slam and get a counter hit. MacMens wants this round so badly. We're getting the immediate burst out of him.
Oh my god. Now with this high blood, are you really going to pop? Okay, whew. Oh my gosh, that was a slow climb right there, but MacMens finished it off with a 5H to bring us to set point. Tried to go for a Fukio back clone, but Fishy called you out with that slide head, with that hammerfall rather.
Counter hit close slash big stutter here for the big man in the robotic suit. Turns it out here again with the hammer fall. Push it through the wall here with the heat knuckle. Guts have been crushed. A good chunk of damage. We are back to neutral. Fishy navigating so around again. Using the armor to come through. Another heat knuckle here to send it off. And we are getting our final game, final round moment of the two big body brawlers in this version of the game. And MacMen's here looking so strong here on this Nago with a backdash on the bite attempt. Not going to find its mark here.
Fishy really getting away with these armor moves on MacMens' preemptive 5Hs. Trying to stagger you out here with these normals. Good job double jumping around here, MacMen's approach. Both players trying to build up that meter. Fishy going to get it first with that very confident gold burst here. The next round wins as that 100 tension starts to build up for Potemkin. 50 spent on the PRC to put MacMens down here, and then gets a pot buster.
Finish our route for closer to the wall. That will be death. Are we able to make it? We're not quite there. 50 meter in the bank here for MacMens. One wrong move, and this is the end of your run for the night. But Fishy, such a great response. Sends out the /3, has the RC behind to keep the combo going. He's stuck in this corner right now. Health bar different, but the backdash being caught by the hammer fall. And despite pulling out all the Pokemon that MacMens had ready in the tool belt, FishyFishy's Potemkin is inevitable. Good for here. Insert on the May. FishyFishy on that Potemkin with the Buster Rhymes power up here. Let's get to Anji.
See what we got out here. Strong start. Fishy already with that tech throw, but Insert keeping that pressure up. Full charge on the 6-8. Fishy, I love that jab to try to keep this May off of you. Doesn't want to block forever. A nice counter hit 5H, but Answer with the burst. Insert coming back with our own overhead to send you through.
We're spinning the burst if we are at this kind of lead right now, but actually ends up keeping themselves safe off that Dolphin spike, getting hit there by that hammerfall break. Bit of burst safe routing here just to make sure Fishy wanted to spend out that burst again, but I don't imagine it would be spent out in this round there. A 3K trade, doesn't even matter. Insert taking a pretty quick first round, getting into it again. We had the health 5D ready on the landing, but wasn't quite enough to send them to the heavens here. But Insert keeping Fishy locked down in this corner. Has to do their best to be able to fight out as they can, but Flicking them not able to quite connect here. Stagger defense coming in, but not able to quite see it there. Dolphin into the RC. Rounding here again. There it is. Finally gets a burst out of FishyFishy. Back to more of that mid-screen plan here. But Insert playing so around these big normals from Potemkin and then just taking the space with the Dolphin right after. Definitely feels tough for Fishy to actually get a hit they're looking for. That back and forth mix there off of that Dolphin hop break. Definitely getting so much value here.
Oh my god, if the flick doesn't work the first time, let's try it again. Oh my god, yo, Fishy's like, wait, this button is that good? Oh my god! But nice job, Insert with some amazing patience, just holding down back to charge that S Dolphin. Not enough to kill though. This Potemkin's very healthy, but one more hit will take it. At this point, you gotta be scared of the chip, or just that vertical Dolphin taking you out. Insert gets the first game of Grand Finals.
If at first your Dolphin doesn't succeed, try again. That's what Insert did there. 3 up Dolphins later, the game was theirs. So very, very good stuff there. Insert looking pretty darn strong there. Fishy able to get a couple of hits, at least to kind of get maybe a potential game plan started. But it feels like all we're finding is a singular hit. And unfortunately, the burst is at the ready, and then we're just not finding anything quite else to stop this May from moving across the screen with her Sea World Armada. But here we go, going into game 2 here. See if FishyFishy can adjust so far, and a // counter hit is not what we want to be seeing, but we are cheering for FishyFishy in that chat. So far, we're going to come through here again. A bit of a trade. Awkward moment with players, but the spacing and the patience from both sides, and the patience of FishyFishy to put out this wall of flicks right now, but not finding a target.
Oh, nice stuff out here, man. These fast RC Dolphins are going crazy. YouTube chat brought up a great point. Yeah, what is the charge input buff? Is it 5 frames? So it's only 25 frames of charging now. Insert looking good out here. Going to be able to send you through.
Here's the wall breaks then, but a BRC forward into the Pop Buster. BRC not affecting the scaling too much again. Another one on the setup here. An RC cancel. Not going to get the burst out of Insert. Shooting the hang onto that one there. As we go through, FishyFishy finding off the back-to-back Pop Busters. A great answer here in this sequence. Insert here off to a good start here in this round 2. Find the hits they're looking for. Puts you in the blender. Keeps it same side this time again. Cracking through this blast here again. FishyFishy not trying to give any of that to Insert right now, but ends up air blocking out that heat tackle. Can still plus, but able to get over that slide head with the Dolphin themselves. But now back in this corner, not where you want to be against the Potemkin.
Ooh, try to get that HPB out, but Insert with the close slash punish spends 100 to make sure we get this combo. Great stuff out there.
Oh, an IBFD on that second 5B actually gets so much space off that. Holy moly. But Insert here Navigating around so quickly, not trying to overcommit too much right now. This time not able to challenge. Fishy tried to stop that jump in. Not able to do it. Dolphin into the RC if nobody got me. I know my aquatic creatures do. The pods are going to start rolling in here for insert. Try to send out another 5D. FishyFishy trying to see what we can connect. But Gorble puts him in the corner. Goldberg's being answered back again. Still blocks this sequence out right now. No other 50 access here, but actually throws out the Hammerfall break. Insert absolutely ready for the hits that they need. Puts another game on the board. And one away from being your ParagOnline ladder bracket number 84 champion. Let's see if FishyFishy can dive deep. Pun absolutely intended. And get 3 games back on the board, but then has to win a whole other set against Insert. And definitely a tall order, but let's see if they can do it.
We're committing to that Potemkin. Fishy definitely believing in this Busta Rhymes power-up. And I did say it earlier. I said, you know, when Insert playing against Kensei, I said this could have been grand finals. Insert said, hold my beer. I mean, actually, no, Insert can't have a beer yet, but nice goal burst from both players to start off. The 2H counter hit from Fishy to keep this May in the corner.
Hold my kitty cocktail or something. You know,
there you go. Dirty soda.
There you go. Yeah, good stuff there. Insert, unfortunately, doing a bit of a side switch into the corner then, but a good YRC stopping that Pop Buster. Was on the way to take your health bar with it. There we go, getting into those back hits of the Dolphin after that 2H again, and calling over and canceling out, but has the 2S ready. Hits the startup of the Heavenly Pop Buster. Insert now on tournament point with that hit. Tries to do a bit of a FishyFishy cosplay with a bit of these 5Ds from the, essentially it feels like half screen away. Another one blocked out here. We're having a bit of fun tonight.
Fishy taking you down to the corner. These 5Ps keeping you down as well. Air blocking that vertical Dolphin. Insert able to keep that pressure up. Oh, nice cross up here. Catching Fishy off guard. Pulling up with that 3K. Actually gets a punish here with our throw. Fishy building up so much tension here on the, you know, on the ass whooping we're taking. But not going to get that chance to spend it quite yet as Insert sends you through with this 2H. One more hit to take it, and it's the 3K. Insert takes ParagOnline number 84. They're going to be your champion.